Oh, we're not live on YouTube again.
Huh.
Right. I'll have to ring Ben. Give me 1 second. Oh.
I think I'm trying to broadcast it to YouTube at the moment. Maybe I did. Did I?
1 second. Yep. Take it off. Take off the overlay. Yes, guys, here we are at WeAreTottenhamTV. You're joined by the Irish Hotspur, joined by Jack Kanicki here, hosting the watch along on behalf of Sim and Ben. It's been an honour to be asked to do these, and we're hosting a watch along here for Spain versus Sweden, kicking off at 8 p.m. We will get into it. We'll be bringing out the lineups. The reason why I'm on the Sweden side and not the Jack side is because I'm supporting Sweden today, so I wanted to be on the side of the Swedish flag. But look, it should be an interesting game, Jack, shouldn't it?
Yeah, listen, David, it's going to be hard for me to, take the side of the Spanish, but I will do it maybe just to rival you. I do have my Sverige Kappa t-shirt on, from Berlin. I am really secretly rooting for the Sverige, but yeah, it's going to be a cracker, and it's going to be interesting to see how Spain actually look this tournament, right, David?
Yeah, it really should be. It really should be, because it's one that we've had a bit of the debate on, Jack.
Right.
Like me, I think once Spain, I do think they're top the group, but I think once they get out of the group, I can't see them going much further than that. But look, we have random account. He says 2-1 Spain. We have Saeed Ibrahim. I think 2-0 to Spain. And we have William McKenzie. He says 3-1 to Spain. That's his guess. Everybody, make sure you do smash a like on the channel or on the stream. Make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel. And feel free to get your super chats in if you have any opinions or anything you want to share. But Jack, I believe we have the starting lineups.
Yeah, absolutely, David. We do have the starting lineups coming in. It is going to be a very interesting lineup from both Spain and Sweden here. In the case of Spain here, we do have a back four, typical 4-3-3 from Spain. The interesting one, David, and we were just talking about this, right, was Marcos Llorente from Atletico Madrid playing on the right-hand side, playing the right back position behind his brother Koke from Atletico as well. To be honest, I really rate Marcos Llorente. I really love him as a player. I think, honestly, he could play anywhere, but it is a bit concerning. He's probably feeling a little bit out of position there. He's onside Alban Laporte from Man City, which would be interesting, and Pau Torres, the Villarreal player, and then Jordi Alba, the eternal Jordi Alba from FC Barcelona, who doesn't seem to be getting any younger, but people seem to think that he's always still capable, so that will be interesting as well. We're seeing Pedri from Barcelona, Ferran Torres, Alvaro Morata, and Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo could be a real game changer, as well as Ferran Torres. I think with Morata, I don't know about Morata's form for the national team. I think it's actually a bit better than we might think it is. So Morata could also come up with a goal, but I really bet you could see Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres really tearing it up.
Yeah.
In the case of Sweden, right, what's very good, David, this will be interesting. They're lined up in a 4-4-2 with Emil Forsberg as their number 10, obviously, from Leipzig. He's coming off the left. He's going to be cutting inside kind of as a left winger. He'll love to come inside on that right foot, and he'll be trying to find the likes of Alexander Isak from Real Sociedad and Marcus Berg from, I believe, Krasnodar, the Swedish eternal legend from the Russian league, who's obviously played along Zlatan a very long time. But this time, David, he's playing along Alexander Isak, who's a very different player to Zlatan, very quick, very tall, good in the air. From Sociedad's had a good season. I think he had like 17 goals in all competitions. What do you make of the Sweden side, David?
Look, the Sweden side, to be honest with you, Kulusevski is a huge loss for them. Not bringing Zlatan as well, as I think is a huge loss. You have Isaac up front. Look, he's the Real Sociedad striker. He knows where the net is. I've seen him play. I think he's a good player. Berg, look, he's just your typical experienced international. Me personally, I don't think he's great, but he does all the nitty-gritty stuff. He's just your typical experienced international. Forsberg, very good player, this guy. For me, if there's anyone that's going to unlock the Spain defence, it probably is looking like it's going to be Forsberg. I believe that's Sebastian Larsson as the captain, Seb Larsson. And look, another experienced player, used to play in the Premier League there as well. So another player to watch out. It's their back line that might let them down here tonight, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Look, Lindelof there, Danny Elson, Lustig, Augustinsson. Yeah, look, Lindelof for United, he's had his troubles all throughout the season, tends to switch off. So I do think there could be a couple of goals here for Spain tonight. You look at the Spain team, Jack. You have a centre-back partnership of Laporte and Pau Torres. Two very, very, very good players. Two very good players. And two very good centre-backs. Look, Laporte probably, he hasn't had the best of seasons with City this season. You know, he's kind of lost his place to Ruben Diaz and John Stones, but he's still a very good centre-back.
Yeah.
But it's mad. It's mad that, you know, he's like French, but he's playing for Spain. He got called up because he didn't make any significant caps for France, or if any at all.
Did he pull a Diego Costa?
Being born in the Basque region as well, he can qualify for Spain, and because he came through at Spain.
Do you think he pulled a bit of a Diego Costa, you know, by kind of, you know, pulling a quick one on us and all of a sudden kind of becoming Spanish and, you know, playing for the Spanish side, kind of like Diego Costa did against Brazil?
Yeah, 100%. Even Wilfried Zaha, he played a couple of friendly games for England. You know, right. I think he was like the first championship player to be called up, played a friendly for England, and then switched his allegiance after being snubbed. And, you know, switched his allegiance to the Ivory Coast. Then you have, look, Alba, he's just, you know what you're going to get with this guy. He's standard. He's a very good player as well. You look, Barcelona, fullback. You have Koke in midfield from Atletico Madrid. Is he still there? I think he is. He's another very good player. Rodri from City, another good player. Fernando, not Fernando Torres, what's his name? Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres. Yeah, he's a tricky winger, this guy. He's a tricky winger. He can turn it on. I'd fancy his chances getting up against Augustinsson or Lustig. Yeah. Look, Morata, balls into the box. Lindelof does tend to switch off, so you can definitely get the jump on him. And then Dani Olmo, very good player, very technical player. I fancy Spain here today. I'm not going to lie. I fancy Spain 2-0.
Yeah, David, same here. I think Spain's going to be grabbing all 9 points in this group. I see them grabbing 3 points here. I think especially what you said with Ferran Torres there, he's going to be coming down that right-hand side, and he's going to be cutting inside against the like of Augustinsson from Werder Bremen. Augustinsson, I've seen a couple, you know, he's good for his national team side. He's kind of a pretty average, kind of like lower tier fullback in the Bundesliga. Don't really rate him too highly. The likes of Danielson, he's been playing in the Chinese league, I believe. He plays for Dalian Pro. So I think he's probably right, similar to Arnautovic, right, David? He's probably not even played too much football this year, even. So he might, playing against the likes of the Spanish with that possession-based system, tiki-taka system, be very, very difficult if you haven't been playing any football for a while. And I believe Marcel Lustig, I forget what club he's from here, but I think he's also been somewhat of a Bundesliga veteran. Again, yeah, you're exactly right. The defense is not too strong. Robin Olsen has played well for his country in the past. Maybe he can pull off a couple worldies. But yeah, I'm a little scared of that defense there. David, you're exactly right.
Yeah, 100%. Look, we have OXF Sam. He says, yes, come on. He's going 1-0 Sweden. We have Kais Boyle. He wants a shout out. So there's your shout out, my man. We also have William McKenzie in the building. He says 3-1 Spain. We have Jelaine Krishna, 2 different streams. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Aaron Dove, where's Jack's ancestors from?
I think I'm actually mostly Irish, David, to be honest. I'm kind of like a typical Irish American. They came off the boat during the famine, and I believe they settled in New York for a long time. And then, that's basically, Irish Americans from New York. Apparently, I have a little bit of Polish in me, a little bit of German as well. But yeah, supposedly I'm mostly Irish. And my dad, his family's been in the U.S. since the 1700s or something as well. So, just maybe Irish American. American.
A good man like you will claim you, Jack. Will claim you. The kid is in the building. He says, hi, guys. Come on, you Spain. We have Oliver Narbro. He says, hello, big yourself up. Real Busters. I'm from Denmark. We need to back our Scandinavian brothers. 1-0 Sweden. I like to see that camaraderie. I'll be honest with you, that doesn't exist between Ireland and England, my man. It really doesn't. Who else have we got? We've got Chris in the building. He says, evening. Viva la España. And Aaron Dove says, I'm from Dublin. My brother researched our family history. Apparently, we are originally Danes going back to the 8th century.
Wow.
Don't know if it's true. Go on, Jack the lad. Green Army. Yeah, look, Jack Charlton there with his flat cap and everything else. Absolutely love it. But look, we have Spain and we have Sweden getting ready to kick off here. What a stadium that is, I have to say, that they're kicking off in, Jack. That is a sight of beauty. It's nice. I have to say. But Alvaro Morata, he's done the typical touch the grass, give himself a good old blessing, you know, before he goes and bangs 1 or 2 in off Lindelof. Look, I really would like to see Sweden win today, but like I said, I do think it's a real tough ask. I think it's a real tough ask. I do think they'll get out the group, though, Jack. What do you think the chances are of getting out of this group?
Yeah, I mean, given that Slovakia had just made Poland drop points, you know, somebody who I maybe was backing for a little bit, Poland, yeah, pretty embarrassing defeat for them. I think with Sweden, if they can get a point out of this, David, just a point, I think they could actually seal their second place position and move on to the round of 16, no problem. I see them beating Slovakia, and if they just get a point, David, they just get a point out of this, they'll be in very good shape.
No, look, honestly, if they get a point out of this, it's going to be red panty night over there. Honestly, it really is. They'll get all their partners into the red panties. Honestly, they'll be celebrating this one right into the early hours of the morning, I'd have to say. But both sets of fans really look up for it. You know, you have the Spanish with their cans looking good, you know, waving their flags, excited. You have the Swedes bouncing up and down, ready for this. Yeah, no, it's going to be a very interesting game. But look, everybody, get your score predictions in. That's what we want to see. I'll be keeping an eye on them, and I want to see if someone actually gets the prediction right. So make sure you do get your score predictions in, guys. And like I said, make sure you have smashed a like on the stream, a subscribe on the channel, and you know, why not become a channel member and send in a few super chats. Show your appreciation for We Are Tottenham TV and the tremendous job they do. But we have a delayed kickoff here because, you know, the net hasn't been taped to the post properly. You know, that's absolute amateur mistake here happening at the Euros. An absolute amateur mistake having to tape the net. Someone's trying to pull a fast one. Actually, speaking of that, right, I remember I was robbed years ago, right? Robbed years ago. So I used to live in a town. Used to live in a town called Cullen, right? But I used to play for a team called Salins because my dad worked with the manager. And so we were playing Kilcullen on their pitch, right? I already banged in 2 goals, banged in a third, right? And the keeper said it came through the side of the net. And as the referee was coming up to have a look for the hole in the net, man, your man just walked by and pulled it, and the keeper gave it. Oh yeah, it went through the side of the net. And I was sitting there, got absolutely robbed out of a hat trick against my hometown. You know what I mean? That would have been a glorious day. Absolutely robbed. But no,
Terrible.
Look, you know, they brought in the band-aid, they fixed it up. And we should be ready to kick off here now any minute, Jack. Everybody, you know, get your Ben and Jerry's out, get your cans out, sit back and relax. It's a hot day. It's 8 p.m. What better time to spend it than watching me and Jack sit here and decipher Spain versus Sweden? What more do we want?
Absolutely, David. And, you know, a little thing I also forgot as well, as people, you know, are tuning in right now, Kulusevski, that player that we've been rumored with from Juventus, he is out, I believe, with COVID-19. He has contracted it before the tournament, and he will be missing this game. I believe also, as maybe not many maybe might know, but Sweden and Spain are actually struggling with COVID themselves in their own camp. Supposedly they were able to put out the squads that they wanted, but yeah, there is actually COVID kind of going around their separate camps and dressing rooms. And we'll see how that unfolds because, at least in the case of Spain, it's actually very interesting. They're all supposedly vaccinated or recently vaccinated. They all have a parallel squad that's playing right next to them in case something happens. But yeah, COVID is somewhat rampant in both of their teams. Yeah,
it is. But look, they seem to be all right here. And Spain are on the attack. Oh, freak. No free kick. That should have been a free kick. That's poor. But they nearly managed to slide Alvaro Morata in alongside Lindelof. Nearly got in there, but Sweden have dealt with it nicely. And Sweden are on the attack here, down the wing. Oh, good ball inside. Good control on the overlap. Good ball. Oh, and the centre back across to take care of it. Not a bother. But look, Jack, we do have some score predictions. We have Chris. He says 3-1 Spain. He says Jack's not liking the Swedish shirt, man. Got about it, the Spanish roots. Lazy 801, big up from Brooklyn. He's going 3-1 Spain. William McKenzie and Aaron Dove are laughing at my misfortune of my goal being robbed. They know what it's like playing in you know, in Ireland and Scotland there, you know, in the back arse of nowhere, and these sort of things happen. Do you know, we actually when I did move back to play with Kilcullen, yeah, we had a pitch in a place called Old Kilcullen. It's just outside Kilcullen. It's basically up where the old round tower is, right? And so, believe it or not, like there's a couple of pitches around the area, like Bush Celtics pitch and that, where we had to, like, if you were the home team, you had to go out with a bucket and a shovel and pick up all the sheep shit off the pitch so you could go and play your game, man. Because like it literally just be a farmer thing. He'd give you the area just to play your games on.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go and clean it up, lad. So, you know, that was sometimes the warm up, you know, out there with the bucket and shovel, pick up the sheep shit, lad, and he'd be sliding through it and everything else. Oh, good ball into the box there by Spain. Just missed, gone out for a corner kick, but that was a good ball in, Jack. Fizzed right in behind the back four. Yeah. Sweden's defense already looking a bit shaky.
Yeah, they are, absolutely. And David, I just wanted to ask you, I am noticing that Marcos Llorente is doing the short socks, doing the small shin pads. Are you a fan of that, David? What do you think of the small shin pad kind of players?
Look, there was a German player that used to do it. I can't remember his name. You know, then Jack Grealish does it. Thomas Muller. Thomas Muller used to do it.
Thomas Muller does, yeah, short socks sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so, right, that's where I love it. I love it. And then Jack Grealish. I love it if you're a player of quality. I don't think Marcos Llorente should probably be doing it, but like the likes of Jack Grealish, Muller, yeah, I like it. I like it, to be honest with you. You know, I don't know how to do it. Do they just buy like baby socks and baby shin
pads? Yeah, they buy baby shin pads, and I think then they also they get the socks and they kind of roll it down or whatever they do, and kind of kind of tuck it in, kind of like how you cuff your your pants or whatever, David. It's a little too much if you ask me, but I do love it when a player does it. I will, if you ask me, I do love it.
No, it looks good. As soon as you see it, you're like, oh, this guy's going to be good on the ball.
Absolutely.
Oh, Spain, just kind of fizzling out. But we have Nicholas Core here. He says, up the Spurs. What's the lineups? Is Reguilon starting lineup? No, look, the lineup is
Reguilon's not even in the Spanish 26 or 24-man squad. Reguilon's not even in the 24-man squad. It's a bit of a shocker.
Well, there you are, Nicholas. So the goalkeeper is some lad called Simon. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Llorente at right back, Laporte and Pau Torres forms the centre-back partnership with Alba at left back, or that could be vice versa, with a midfield tree of Koke, Rodri and Gonzalez, is it? Gonzalez. And then we have Ferran Torres, Alvaro Morata and Dani Olmo completing the front three. For Sweden, we have Olsen in goals, Lustig, and Augustian as the fullbacks, Lindelof and Danielson as the centre-back partnership with Larsson, Ekdal, Olsen, Forsberg completing a midfield four or a midfield three, and Berg and Isaac completing up top. So I think it is Isaac, Berg and Forsberg as across the front three. So Sweden, absolutely, I think, are playing 4-3-3, and Spain are more or less playing
Spain is playing
4-3-3, 4-2-3-1.
Absolutely. Yeah, David. Yeah. Sweden is going with a flat 4-4-2 kind of, really sitting back, really sitting deep here with this flat 4-4-2. And then Spain is kind of just a really high pushing 4-3-3. Fullbacks like Jordi Alba there are practically as high as the striker. You know, it's going to be very dominating possession, I think, for Spain here. Sweden are going to be sitting very, very deep.
Yeah, but look, to all those English fans out there, this is probably only a friendly because it's already come home. It's already come home. So, you know, this is probably only a friendly. They're only playing for participation, man. But no, look, we have William McKenzie. Feels weird when I run with low shin pads. I've never tried it, to be honest with you. I've always been nice long shorts, socks, shin pads, pair of shiny white boots, and off I go. Dazzling Dave. That's what they used to call me. Dazzling Dave, dazzling down the wing. Dave, Dave, Dave. You know, that's what the Cullen supporters used to sing. Then we have Padraig Gaffey says, let's go Ireland. We're not there. We're not there. Aaron Dove, I remember playing on pure mud on pitches with 10% gradient to Wicklow, Ireland in the 80s. Yeah. What I will say is you actually have better pitches up there than what we do in Kildare. To be honest with you, I don't know. You have some sort of funding going on up there that I don't like, but it's better than what we have in Kildare. We have Chris. He says that was a wasted opportunity for Spain. It really was. And he says the goalkeeper is Unai Simon in goal. I don't even know where he plays. Never heard of him. I'll ask Jack now in 1 second. We have William McKenzie. Overgrown grass was the worst terrain to play in. Oh, stop, man. You know, it slows the ball down. On our pitch in Kilcullen, right? Like it's like on a slope. It's on a slope. Both boxes are just pure mud with puddles, but this is the way it used to be. And then up on the slope, the grass would be a bit longer, so the ball will hold up, lad. It used to be an absolute nightmare when you were attacking it, running in down that side. You know what I mean? You keep the ball on a little bit, and it's just slowing down. Used to be an absolute fucker to play on. And then we have Chris, another corner for Spain, 100%. Manuel Strasser, Jack is Swedish. No, Jack's not Swedish. He's American. He's American with European and Irish heritage. That's what Jack is. We have Mr. Crazy D, top 2 duos on YouTube. Keep up the good work, lads. No, I really appreciate that, man. That's an absolute cracking comment,
Very
my
nice
man.
of you. Thank you, Drew.
Yeah, cracking comment, you know. But yeah, look, this is WeAreTottenham TV for anyone that's tuning in and they're rubbing their eyes twice and they're like, oh, am I really seeing things? No, this is WeAreTottenham TV. It's just your boy, the Irish Hotspur, filling in for Simon and Simeon and Ben, so that they can just have a little time off, a little TLC, a little bit of relaxing time, you know, because they're putting out incredible content all the time. They looked hungover this morning today, doing the watch along for the
It's already
Scotland
coming
game.
home, David. I mean, they're already
hungover.
celebrating, David. It's already coming home. It's already come home, David. They're celebrating.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, they were already celebrating with the Euros last night. Ben and Simeon were, you know. So we're just filling in, but hopefully we're doing a good job. Aaron Dove, much better setup and facilities these days up here. Yeah, there is. Marion Cranford. If we never heard of them, then they have to be on Levy's radar for Spurs. Yeah, pretty much. Mr. 333. Yo, Irish Hotspur. Love from London. Big yourself up. Whereabouts in London? I actually used to live in South London there for a while, Croydon. Crystal Palace actually used to be my closest club, but I used to hate them. I'm only a year. That's all I am. And then we have Chris plays for Atletico Bilbao, David. Thank you. Nicholas Unai Simon plays for Bilbao. And then Ben Kaufman, it's time to pull a point and watch some footy and talk about the wonderful and incredibly frustrating life of supporting Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. Yes, look, Ben, you know, sit back, chill out, put the feet up, get your point at the ready. Just listen to me and Jack Waffle with the game on in the background. What more do you want? And Mr. 333 is back. He says, Edmonton, down the road from the lane. Big up yourself, man. Big yourself up. Matthew Whaley is loving it. He says, great stuff, lads. Yeah, well, if you love it, you know, make sure you smash a like on the stream, subscribe on the channel, a few channel memberships, a few super chats. And hell what? Why not tweet it out? Let them know that you're really enjoying it. Put the pressure on them. You know, get me on this channel a lot more. Get Jack on this channel a lot more. You know, and look, if you are liking what you're seeing, get over to the Irish Hotspur. Why not smash a subscribe on it? You know, plenty of energy. As much energy here, probably tenfold over there. You know, that I produce, because here I don't want to get the boys taken down or anything like that. You know, on my channel, because it's my rules, I can do what I want. I can risk that. But no, honestly, big up the boys for having me host these. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying them. And big up for Jack for taking his time out, you know, to come on the last two. What an absolute legend. But yeah, look, Jack, what are you making of the game so far, my man?
Listen, David, you know I'm a couple of seconds behind you on it, but what I can say is that Spain are really pushing it. I think they're really looking like a lot of Spain teams from the past, where those fullbacks, especially Jordi Alba, it is absurd how high that guy gets up the pitch, you know, sitting right next to the winger or the striker there. And I think they're going to have maybe 60 to 70% possession this game. I think Sweden, you know, with the likes of Alexander Isak and Marcus Berg, I don't know about you, David, but sometimes they're practically halfway inside their own half, those two strikers up there, really sitting deep, like deeper than you could ever even imagine. It's going to be really frustrating. I actually, despite how much Spain are seeing of the ball right now, I could see this being maybe a very frustrating 1-0 or 2-0 win for maybe Spain.
Yeah, I think I go along the lines of that. Look, with Sweden, I'll be honest with you, that they really have a desire to come out and win this today. Obviously, you know, they're going to sit back, try and frustrate them, take a point out of this. A point would be a great start for Sweden. Make no mistake about this. It'll be a great start for them. Then they have Poland and Slovakia as well. Two games
their hardest game out of the way. Their hardest game out of the way against Spain. First game as well is their hardest game. And if they got a point out of that, I mean, they would be celebrating it as if it's coming home as well, David.
Yeah, there would be that 100%. And then look, with Spain, it wouldn't be the ideal start for them if they got a draw, but they're going to come out of the group anyway. But what it does do, it will galvanise Poland, it will galvanise Slovakia, and then you never know, it could become a little bit tricky for Spain. Could become a little bit tricky. But look, let's keep some more people. Let's get some more comments in here, Jack. We have the Hotspur reaction. Love from Chicago. Big yourself up. Look, the only thing I know from Chicago Town pizza, lad. As you can see, I like a pizza. And we have Marion Cranford. You are not doing a good job, but you're doing a phenomenal job. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't like it. I love it.
I was getting worried when I read the first half, Jack, but they're absolutely loving it. Oh, good defending. Good defending.
I'm getting ready to see it, David. But yeah, like my mom always says, I don't like it. I love it, David. But yeah, it's let's see.
That's some good defending. It was a nice ball in behind Jack. And, you know, look, Alvaro Morata could have easily held him up, like, you know, just pinned him and swiveled and got the strike, but the defender didn't allow it to happen, and he got across. And very good interception.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
Interception.
Wow.
But look, Sweden are sitting deep, Jack. They're sitting deep. They're just, like you said, they're happy to just put pressure on them. Happy to put pressure on them. Happy. But look, we'll take a few more comments. We have Ashwin, the Spurs fan. It's 8 p.m., right? 8 a.m., right? Yeah, it is, my man. It is. Well, it's 15:15 now, lad. It's 15:15 now. Mr. Crazy, the only two youths that can fill in for Ben and Sim. Absolutely love it. I think you and Marion are trying to have a compliment off. So, look, keep them coming. I'm all for it. You know, let's see if we can get the best compliment in. We have Chris. He says, I'm from Edmonton down the road from the Lane Original, but now in the northeast. We have Nicholas Core, love from Greece. Both you are absolute legends. That's from Garrett in AU, Australia. Wow. We have Nicholas Core again, love from Athens. Chris, Spain are dominating, but that means nothing. And then Gorgoma with a donation there to the channel. And just an absolute thumbs up. Big yourself up. Really appreciate that. He's using the super sticker. What a legend. Everybody else, if you are enjoying it, don't be afraid to get them in. Get your questions in. Any questions you want me and Jack to answer, just put them in the comments. If you're feeling generous and maybe had a few too many beers because it's coming home, why not press a super chat? Get it in. You know, it's coming home. You guys should be delighted. It's coming home.
Yeah,
David, I'm super happy. Get the super chats in. It's coming home. You know,
yeah,
go
David.
crazy.
Yeah, David, I don't know why we haven't gotten any super chats in that regard, you know, asking me, what do I think of, how much will England beat Portugal in the final by, like how many goals will Mason Mount be the Golden Boot winner, like how much will get Jack Grealish be able to play, even though they've already won it, all those questions, David. Yeah, we would love to receive them.
Yeah, we would. Look, any question you want to ask, any questions on players, any question on Spurs, or any question on the Euros, just ask them in the chat here. We have Andy Song. He says, hello from China. Big yourself up. Big yourself up. Hope you're keeping well over there, Andy. I hope it's good weather. Maybe you're chilling out, having a beer, eating some of the finest food in the world, my man.
Yeah.
Eating some of the finest food. That's what I'm talking about. But look, Spain, it's all Spain at the moment, isn't it, Jack? It really is. They're just passing the ball side to side. What's the word I'm using for it? It's a fancy word. Oh, another chance gone begging for Spain there. Yeah. They're just creating a bit of havoc. They're just poking the ball in and out of the middle, trying to create gaps. They're just causing a bit of havoc. They're just playing around with them, and then they're putting a lovely ball in the box. Oh, he should have scored. What a save by the keeper.
From Robin Olsen,
he should have scored. He's missed a sitter. It looks like Danny Olmo. Oh, he's missed a sitter. Great save by Olsen and goals for Sweden. What a save. What a save.
Wow, what a save. Yeah, David, you're right. What a save.
Should have been 1-0 Spain there, Jack.
Yeah, Robin Olsen diving very well to his left there. But to be honest, yeah, I have no idea how he made that save, and I don't really know how he didn't put that away either, David. Yeah, if you're asking me, yeah, he didn't even have to jump for it, David. He just has to think and concentrate and put that away. Maybe Lindelof, distracted him, was maybe in front of his eyes there. But, I mean, David didn't even have to jump for it. You just got to put your head there. You got to put your noggin on it.
I think it's one of them. I used to have a friend, lad, he used to go for headers and close his eyes. He used to drive me mad. I used to stand there every time. You're not going to get hurt by the ball. Stop closing your eyes. You know what I mean? How are you supposed to direct a header? How are you supposed to, make sure you don't miss it? Keep your eyes open.
You blink at the right, yeah.
So for ages, I just used to boot balls at his head, throw balls at his head, and then all of a sudden he'd start heading the ball, and he really, from that moment forwards, it really gave him a lot of courage. He wasn't afraid anymore. Even tackle-wise, another good ball in the box by Spain. Oh, well dealt with. Well dealt with. He just runs across. Good defending, Lindelof. Held off the Spanish winger coming in on the back post there. That's a bit. Brilliant. Brilliant defending. He heads it off him. That's cool, calm, and collected by Lindelof. But look, we have Wire a Sly. Spain need to move on from tiki-taka thing because Xavi Iniesta generation is over. Luis Enrique, very good choice because he's how pragmatic he is. But I wonder why he choose Morata over Moreno or over Moreno. Well, Jack, do you want to take this one? Do you want to answer Wire a Sly?
No, absolutely. That's a brilliant point. You know, I really highly rate Luis Enrique. I think it's the only reason I would say that Spain, maybe you could see them in the semifinals. I think that's the furthest they'll go is maybe the semis. But Luis Enrique, right? He was the manager during Barcelona during the Messi, Neymar, Suarez era. You know, he's probably achieved the most of any Barcelona manager since the departure of Guardiola. So yeah, absolutely rate highly Luis Enrique. But yeah, Gerard Moreno, I think he's had over 30 goals in all competitions this season in comparison to Morata, who's probably only had around 17, I think. So yeah, Gerard Moreno, I really heavily rate. He's a really hard worker, brilliant left foot, knows how to finish low, very clinical finisher, probably even more clinical than likes Morata. Maybe the reason he's not playing is just because Morata might work a little harder. Maybe he's a bit better in the air, but Gerard Moreno is definitely more of a baller, definitely someone I definitely rate much more than Alvaro for sure. So big yourself up.
So you reckon he was very harsh to miss out then?
Yeah, no, Gerard is very hard. I mean, I don't, David, if he scored, I think he scored 33 goals or something in all competitions this season. What else can you do?
Oh, that's the guy from Villarreal.
Yeah, the guy from Villarreal, right,
yeah, that's
David?
Harsh. Yeah, that's harsh.
I don't know what else
That's
you can
harsh.
do, David. I don't know what else you can do to get a spot, really.
I think. Look, I think maybe other games he might play, but I think for this game, because you have Lindelof and the other centre back, I think the aim is because Lindelof can't switch off and has been exposed at times with balls over the top or balls in the air into the box. He's been exposed. Maybe that's the thinking of playing Alvaro Morata.
Yeah,
but
Alvaro's got a bit of pace on him.
Like,
Alvaro's sometimes got a bit of pace on him. I will give him that. He's, obviously he's had that sensational run. David, you probably remember against Bayern when he played for Juventus. He had that incredible run. He's got a bit of turn and pace on him. The other thing as well, David, is we didn't maybe think about this in our analysis, David, but this is obviously Sweden's toughest game for this group. But in a way, this is such an easy group for Spain that this is their toughest game as well. So maybe that's the other reason why they're maybe playing Morata, someone who's a bit more familiar, someone who has a bit more caps, a bit more familiarity with the side for supposedly their toughest game. This might be their toughest game, ironically.
Yeah. No, I think this will be their toughest game. But where Spain are getting a lot of joy in this game is actually down the wingers and putting the ball in behind the back four across the 6-yard area. Yeah. That is looking likely where Spain are going to score from right now. So if I was them, I'd just keep getting the ball down the middle, down into the middle, and then out left, out right, and just keep getting them balls in. Just tell Morata, be on the shoulder of the centre back, and just keep making them runs in. Look, we have a few more people to get to, but Jack, what are you sipping on that?
I'm sipping on actually a mint julep, David. It's something I had in the Kentucky Derby. It's a bit of bourbon and a bit of simple syrup and some mint leaves as well, David.
Yeah, looked a bit bourbony, all right. I like it. I like a bit of bourbon on the rocks. What more can you ask for?
Oh no, David, it's glorious. It's glorious. It warms the belly a little bit, warms the throat as well, David. I think you would love it. Yeah, especially in the wintertime, David. It's a great drink.
No, 100%, lad, 100%. But look, everybody, if you're having a little sneaky drink right now, make sure you get it in the comment section and let me know what you're sipping on. We have Priyash Rao. He says, "Hi, David. This duo is great." No, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Andy Song, it's 3 a.m. here in China. Well, what are you doing up, my man? Fair play to you. You're definitely on the beers. Theo Hayward, hello from Northern Ireland. Big yourself up, lad. Hope you're keeping well. I feel the pain, same pain as you. We're not here at the Euros, so it's painful. Samantha Collings says, when an Irishman says it's coming home with a smile, England got lucky. Never thought an Irishman would cheer on or purpose for England. Oh, no, you're getting wrong. I'm being sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic when I say it's coming home. Oh, I'm not cheering them on. I've been winding them up all over Twitter, been even on WeAreTottenhamTV, winding up Ben and Sim, in group chats. Every chance I get, I'm winding them up because the reason why I say it's coming home is because they win one game, and it's coming home. It's coming home. I'm saying it sarcastically. Jesus, no, don't worry. I'll never be cheering on the old enemy. Believe me, Jesus, no. We have William McKenzie. Yeah, I think these guys are being cheeky with it. Yeah, we are. And she says, good. Marion Crawford says, during the Euros, I am looking for a keeper to replace Lloris. If Kane goes, our better players may exit. Yeah, 100%. It is. It's scary. It's scary if Kane goes. Look, obviously, like, you know, we saw top strike. Oh, another miss by Spain. Oh,
I'm about to see it. I'm about to see it, David. I'll let you know what I think.
Not a bad effort outside of the boot shot. I think it's Koke.
Yeah,
Unlucky.
David. Yeah, David. Yeah, I think that's from Koke. Yeah, a bit clever there from Koke. You know, not known for his finishing, not known for his goal prowess. But yeah, very clever take there. But yeah, David, they are starting. Maybe you maybe could argue now they probably missed 1 or 2 sitters here.
Yeah. Oh no, they have. There should be at least 1 or 2 nil up, Jack.
Yeah. But maybe this is what I think, David. You know, it's the first game, bit of nerves on them, right? If Sweden, right, if they make it through the next 10 minutes, David, if they make it through the next 10 minutes, you could see them maybe holding on second half, and then it's all about the next 10 minutes in the second half. And then if Sweden are 0-0 after 65 minutes, David, they might be able to hold on to something here.
Yeah,
obviously that's plenty in the future. That's plenty in the future. But, you know, we've seen, you know, it's kind of how the Euros roll. You know, it's all about with Sweden here. I think they're just really trying to look to get a point and frustrate Spain pretty much, you know, and they're going to have to be lucky. That's what I guess I'm saying here is, you know, you do need to get lucky. You do need to expect Spain to miss a couple of sitters here and there, and you need to take your chances as well. Sweden need to take their chances.
Sweden will get 1 or 2 opportunities there. Get 1 or 2. Every team always gets 1 or 2.
Right, David.
It's just if they take it. For me, if the 2 chances fall to anybody, I'd want 1 to Berg and 1 to Isaac. Berg because he has that experience and the composure, and Isaac because, you know, he's in a rich vein of form at the minute. So you know, he's raining goals. So, you know, if I was Sweden, I'd just keep doing what I'm doing, keep sitting back, keep riding out the luck, because great defending. Honestly, Sweden are just throwing bodies on the line right now. Just throwing bodies on the line. But look, a couple more comments here. We have Gaguma. This is more fun watching it with you guys. Really enjoy the commentary. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate that.
Good to see you.
We're no experts at this, but we appreciate it. Ben Kaufman. I'd rather Tottenham win the FA Cup than England win the Euros. England's temporary, Tottenham is permanent. Family. That's what I want to hear. Fair play to you. That's a great comment. Big up, Ben Kaufman.
That's a great
Absolutely
comment.
Love it. That's brilliant. That's what I want to hear. That's absolute top quality. Priyash Barca bias playing Pedri over Thiago. What you guys think? To be honest with you, this is the Thiago that went to Liverpool, yeah?
Yeah.
What an overrated, overhyped gobshite. Honestly.
You think Thiago?
You know, it was coming. This guy was supposed to transform Liverpool. They were going to be the new possession-based team, looking swanky, looking slick, right? He's shit, man. He's shit. He's even shit in midfield. He's too lightweight. You know, a couple of times there, he pulled out headers and cost Liverpool a few goals this season.
David, I would love to have a good debate here with you right now. I really highly rate Thiago. To be honest, I think Thiago's one of the biggest ballers we've ever seen. I think Thiago's one of the best players I've ever seen in my life, David. To be honest as well, David, statistically, that man is still ridiculous. I think the reason why most people don't rate him is just because they see a small little midfielder, right, David? They see a small little midfielder and they think goals. They think he's supposed to be getting assists, and goals. But he's always the guy that, you know, is the pass to the assist. He's the guy that's the pass to the assist. He's the man that just runs the show from deep. He's an absolute baller. You've obviously seen him in the tight areas. He's absurd. And to be honest, David, I got to disagree with you, David. He knows how to get stuck in as well, David. With Thiago, he knows how to get stuck in. He loves a good cheeky yellow in the 78th minute. You know what I mean? And he loves a good 2-footed tackle as well, David. I got to say it'd be a fascinating debate maybe for the future. But I absolutely rate Thiago, and anybody that says anything against his name, I think you're talking about a Bayern Munich Champions League winner of just a season ago, David. So, you know, you got to try carefully.
I get that, right? But, like, here's my thing, right? Some of these players are made for the likes of German football, Spanish
That's
football.
Fair,
right?
that's fair.
League's a bit slower. You know, arguably, teams kind of sit off, let them play and try and take the ball off them. In the Premier League, you know, it's rugged. It's a different animal. Yeah. And I just think Thiago's going to get lost in it, to be honest with you. I really do. I just don't think he has the physicality to bounce around in there. And yeah, I just think he's going to struggle. I think it's I don't think it's going to work out. Look, I get what he does. Like before he came to the Premier League, I watched him at Bayern. It's like, oh, he's one hell of a player. He's come to the Premier League and he's just been lost, to be honest. But you look, could be proven wrong, could be first season syndrome. But look, it's Liverpool. I don't like them either. So I hope it doesn't work out. But look, we have Gabuma with a super chat. Big yourself up. I'm drinking ice plum tea. Jack's mint julep sounds yummy. What are you drinking, David? Yeah, me, I'm just drinking an old-fashioned can of Coke, my man. Good old-fashioned can of Coca-Cola. I have a bottle of Volvic here as well, you know, just to loosen up the windpipes, just in case I might have to sing or anything like that. But, yeah, no, I only drink for occasions, really. You know, a lot of my drinking days are behind me. I used to go wild. I used to be out 5 nights a week and stuff like that. But I've settled down. You know, I'm doing my thing now. And, yeah, look, on occasions I'll drink, but not as much as people think. But honestly, ice plum tea, not really a nice tea, man. Never really tasted it. Just doesn't look appealing or sound appealing. But plum, good flavour, man. I like that.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds really tasty, David. But David, you brought up Volvic water. I will say, when I was studying in Germany, I will say, of all the plastic water bottles, Volvic was the very good, cheap option, very tasty, you know, of all the plastic water bottle options. So I do highly rate it from someone who doesn't know or isn't familiar as much with the plastic water bottle situation you guys got over there. So I will say Volvic, highly recommend.
100%. Well, Aaron Dove is saying you're drinking a fancy drink, Jack. He's just having a good old-fashioned lager.
That's what I actually ran out of beer. So I wish I could be having an old fashioned lager, especially at this time of day. It's probably what I would rather be having, to be honest, if you ask me. But yeah, you know, I ran out of beers the other day, and I haven't gone back to the bodega. Haven't hit my man up at the corner store, and so yeah, this is what I got as the rest of the bourbon from Kentucky.
100%. That's the look. That's what you want. You know, you need to challenge your inner Kentucky lad. Mr. Crazy D says some people's personalities never fully work together, but David and Jack certainly do. That's what I'm talking about.
He keeps holding us in suspension. He keeps holding us in suspension, David.
He does. Marion Cranford says, I'm drinking water while I'm at work. Oh yeah. What you working at? That's sad that you're in work right now, to be honest with you. My commiserations go out to you. You know, but look, at least you're keeping hydrated in hot weather like this. You know, that's all we can ask for. Make sure you stay fully hydrated. Ben Kaufman back and again. Tottenham need to build up to being a big boy club by actually winning a couple of FA Cups, League Cup. We aren't a big boy club yet.
I kind of agree with that, David. In a way, I think David, I got to say, I think we should start with, you know, focusing on the Carabaos, the FAs, you know, especially with the likes of Man City, David. Like, it's honestly so frustrating to see that Man City or whatever have won like the last, 12 Carabao Cups, whatever it seems like. You know, Pep Guardiola's, you know, he just dominates the leagues. He just dominates all the cups. Like, I'm actually getting a little sick of that because, you know, Pep Guardiola is obviously showing he doesn't have the balls to win a Champions League. You know, he doesn't have the wit to win a Champions League anymore, but he's willing to just bully everyone else, you know, for the Carabaos and the FAs. And he takes it away from the hardworking clubs like ourselves. And to be honest, yeah, I would love to see us start with a Carabao or an FA. I would be absolutely delighted.
Look, I'll always think we're a big boy club, to be honest with you. Look, we do have history of FA Cups, European trophy, you know what I mean? So we do have a bit of history of winning things. It's just about getting back to being a big boy club. We are a big boy club. It's just getting back to doing what big boy clubs do. That's my opinion on it. But look, I think your opinion, Jack, and Ben's is solid. Chris is getting frustrated here. Says, how many chances Spain will rule these misses? Nah, I don't know. Sweden are looking pretty toothless going forward. But like I said, they're not going to venture anywhere or throw bodies forward. Why would they? A draw out of this is dreamland for them. You know, Zlatan will be sitting at home jacking off to the result. He'll see Neil on, he'll be sitting there jacking off to it. Zlatan will absolutely love it. Vera Sly says, Emerick doing very good choice. Move to Spain. He's a missing point in Spain's defence generation and going to be vital in recent years to come. Yeah, he will. He'll slot in nicely alongside Pau Torres. They have two good centre-backs there, two very good centre-backs for the next 4 to 5 years anyway, at least. So, yeah, they've good options there. We have Mark Stevenson said, who's going to score? Look, it's all Spain, my man. If anyone's going to score, it is looking like Spain.
If it's Spain, I would say it's going to be. I think it's going to be Morata. I think Morata's, first he's got to miss a sitter. With Morata, you always know he's got to miss a sitter first. He's got to miss a wide open goal, and then he'll he'll touch one in later.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, Spain are just being frustrated. Another ball in behind the back four there again. The keeper was out to clear
Morata tap in. It's a little tap in, a little, cheeky ball across the keeper, maybe from Dani Olmo from the left-hand side over there. Plays it across goal, across the keeper. Morata tap in is maybe my prediction for the first goal.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing I'm very impressed with Spain, actually, today. They're looking to win the ball back very quickly. I've never really seen that from the Spain team, having that urgency to win the ball back as quick. And they're doing that very, very well today, aren't they?
David, what do you think? Is that maybe part of, they got a lot of Simeone men in there. They got a lot of Simeone's men, a lot of the people that, maybe know a little bit about the dark arts, know a little bit about, what it takes to win. Maybe that's what it is. Luis Enrique, maybe not known for that, but he has brought a lot of Atletico players, especially in the likes of Rodri, former Atletico player. Ferran Torres played for Valencia. Valencia can be a bit of a dark, nasty team sometimes. And the likes of Marcos Llorente, who I absolutely love and adore. Simeone man through and through. Koke man. Koke is a Simeone man through and through. Morata, I believe, is also. I don't think he ever did a loan spell or anything at Atletico, but yeah. Morata, I think, has always been a bit of a shithouse. Always like to, kind of mess with the back line. Bit of a, bit. It's almost just he's just constantly running. Morata, he's kind of a bit of a nuisance, you could say. But yeah, maybe a lot of Simeone kind of like men in the lineup. Maybe that's what's different than the normal Spain side.
Yeah, 100%. I fully agree with you there. They have the Simeone guile and fight in them 100%. But look, we'll get through a couple of comments here. Vera Sly says, I think Enrique chose Pedri over Thiago because he needs more energy and determination rather than Thiago, who looks like who likes doing possession. At some point, needs Thiago creativity though. Yeah, but look, they're looking very creative here today. To be fair,
yeah, that's fair.
Mark Swift says, I'm with Dave. Ben Kaufman says Thiago has ruined Liverpool. He slows everything down. And Liverpool is a side full of high energy and pace. That's one thing I noticed. And I said to my friends over the season, I said, when this guy's getting the ball, the likes of Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Salah, Mane, they're all having to check their runs by a split second or two. And it's slowing them down. If they could get that in sync, they're going to be a well-oiled machine next season. But that's a big if. Vera Sly says Enrique wants more direct attacking play. Mark Stevenson says, you missed the Irish team, not in the Euros. 100% I do, man. 100% I do. Mark Stevenson says, nil all still. Of course it is. Of course it is. Kaguma, he sounds good. Big up to Vikesh. He just says hello. Chris is still going mad here with all the chances wasted. I'm surprised Chris hasn't had a heart attack yet. David, it's one of those games. Spain will dominate Sweden, get one chance and bury it. Don't be surprised. I'm not, man. I'm not surprised. That's why I picked Sweden today. Matthew Whaley, I wish I could stay here all match, lads, but I have to sleep. I'm writing an exam tomorrow. Big up the lads and wish me luck. Yeah, Matthew, big up with your exam.
Big up on the exam, got to study right. Got to have the right brain food. Remember, no matter how much you study right, it's all about what you eat the next day. It's all about how much you sleep the night before. Believe me,
well, Jack, what would you tell him to do first thing when he gets up? Like, what sort of drink should he have and what sort of meal? Because it's like going to a Euros like Spain or Sweden today, like Tottenham before they walk out. You have to have your pre-match prep right. So what would you tell this guy pre-exam? What does he need to do?
Well, it depends on the type of exam, David. But what I will say is for your standard exam, you obviously got to wake up early, got to have the coffee because coffee's for winners, David. It's not tea in the morning. Tea I absolutely admire, absolutely love. But when you're trying to be a winner, it's got to be coffee, David. And then you go from the coffee, probably have a nice banana, probably have a nice apple. You got to have the fiber in case, something comes out wrong. Maybe later in the day, you got to have something come out nice and solid because, we're just trying to keep everything in order, right? And then probably maybe a nice egg. Personally, I'm a fried egg man myself. Fried egg man, bit of refried beans, bit of Mexican refried beans, guacamole in there. That's just what I do for the breakfast. Very American of myself. But yeah, you got to start off with the fiber. You got to start with the protein, and you got to maybe know what you're going to be, got to stay hydrated as well, David, because if you're taking an exam, you're sweating, you got to have a bit of water before, got to have a bit of, electrolytes, bit of energy, bit of sugar. You got to realize too, the sugar is going to go a long way. So you got to get the coffee, got to get the sugar in your body, maybe a bit of M&Ms, keep an M&Ms packet or a Snickers bar or something like that, David. But yeah, there are plenty of things that go into it. If it's like, for me, when I was in school, sometimes I had those German oral exams, right? That means you got to do everything like I said. And then right before the exam, take a little bit of a sip of a lager right before, loosen up the larynx, loosen up the vocal cords. But yeah, if it's just your typical math exam, I would say start with an apple, maybe a smoothie as well, a bit of egg, bit of toast. But yeah, you got to have a good breakfast and you got to stay hydrated, David.
No,
Marata, big chance here. And he misses the sitter. Obviously, you probably saw this. I'm a little bit behind everyone just because of the streaming, the Chromecasting that I'm doing. But yeah, what an absolute sitter for Marata. I'm very disappointed. But David, I did tell you he's got to miss the sitter first, and then he's going to make the tap in later, David.
No, 100%. So if there's anybody watching, get on to William Hill right now. Get your €5 bets on. Alvaro Morata to score his next chance. That's what I say to you. I know the boys have a bit of the William Hill there, so make sure you get over onto William Hill and get your bet in Alvaro Morata to score his next chance. 100%. But look, Matthew, like Jack was saying, just make sure you have a good breakfast, and I advise you to stop off in the shop and go to the very back of the fridge, pull out a bottle of water from there, it'll be the coldest bottle, and bring it into the exam. Mark Stevenson says, what's the best team shirts in the Euros? I have to say, I like Croatia's black shirt yesterday.
Oh, Croatia's win every year. Their home shirts win every year, always win every year. I will say, I mean, and this is, David, this is the one time come with no bias because usually I don't rate the German shirts, but that all black kit is a little classy if you ask me. Very classy kit. And I will say, David, it's also really pains me to say this as well, but England's home kit is not bad, David. It's not a bad kit. It's actually, I think, better than the Spurs kit. Some people seem to love the Spurs kit for the simplicity. Some people love the Spurs kit for the simplicity. Personally, I will say if you're going on simplicity, I will say the English home kit is pretty good if you're looking at the simpleton scale.
No, look, it has the 3 lines on it. Can't be saying that. Never will. Aman Amasia says, big fan from India, David. Big yourself up, man. Chris, I'm not having a heart attack, but my phone and TV may end up out the window, David. Jack, this sounds like a man that may have had a little bet on this game. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe what do you think? He's probably betting a lot on Spain here. He's probably thinking that La Roja, he probably thinks that La Roja, are going to make it easy for the South. But like I said, the Swedish, right? The Swedish, they frustrated the Germans in the last World Cup. They really did actually do very well against the Koreans as well as South Koreans. They had a great World Cup last tournament. And to be honest, if you look at their team now, it's practically the same, if not a little better. And so, yeah, maybe you look at this Swedish team and they actually, they're not playing pretty football, David, but they will frustrate you and they will actually just, ride it out until they can kind of sneak in a goal, get a little cheeky goal in here. And like I said, David, earlier, they made it to that 40th minute now.
Go on, Isaac. Isaac. He had the defense at 6 and 7s there. I don't know how he managed to keep control of it. He should have scored, Jack. Wait until you see this.
I'm going to give you my analysis, David. But like I said, David,
that was the chance, Jack.
It must have been a long ball from Olsen.
That was the chance. That was the chance for him. Creeping up to halftime. That's everything Sweden could have wished for, especially after Morata missing that sitter. Sweden should have punished them. But Jack, what do you think?
I honestly, Marcos Llorente there. The Marcos Llorente, David. Marcos Llorente is an absolute savior when you think about it. Honestly, David, if you're asking me if I'm Isak there, I'm banging that first time off that bounce. I'm banging that on the volley, half volley there, first time, near post, right over the keeper's ear, to his right there. But even then, right, he still gets the shot off. It goes right by the keeper, and Marcos Llorente happens to be standing there right where the ball was shot. Probably it was going right into the bottom left-hand corner. Honestly, they got to be thanking Marcos. They got to be getting them. They got to be getting them some ceviche or some, some paella after this game because he did absolutely save them there.
Yeah, I just seen your comment there saying you're not seeing the YouTube comments. I'm only seeing them because I'm seeing them on a different device here in front of me.
That's sorry about that. Yeah.
No, that's grand. But we have a comment here for you, Jack, and it's a good comment here. It's from a man. He says, Jack is such an intelligent person, level-headed and happy he is a Spurs fan and not a gooner. 100%. We share
not
that.
a scummer, not a scummer, not a scummer. Like I said, I'm all about when it comes to football, I'm all about the pretty football. I'm not about, asking for a manager that has won them trophies after trophies after trophies to tell them to get out of my club. The moment I saw AFTV practically as a child, I immediately became a Spurs fan because I was so disgusted by what I was looking at, the ungratefulness. And, with Spurs, I would say we're honestly too grateful. That's our problem, actually. We're actually too grateful. We honestly should be a little less grateful because, we honestly thank our stars for even in the Premier League sometimes, when in fact we should actually just be, a bit more demanding. That's what makes us different, I will say. But I'm looking at a chance here for Danny Olmo. Oh, absolutely botches it. But yeah, as a Spurs fan, you got to be delusional, got to be an optimistic. David knows this better than anybody. He's rubbing off on me in that regard. But yeah, always very positive, always very optimistic, and especially delusional as a Spurs fan myself.
No, 100%. You have to be. Look, Spain are throwing everything. They're throwing the kitchen sink, the mother-in-law, the grandmother, everything at this. And honestly, they just can't crack it open. Oh, my God. Do you know what? He tried to play for the handball there. That's sneaky. That's sneaky by Danny Olmo, that chance there. Tried to flick it off his arm.
Little Sadio Mane there on Sissoko.
Yeah. Spain, I don't like it. But look, we have Spain with a corner here. Let's see what they can do from this. Maybe you can get Pau Torres on the end of this. Maybe a Laporte. We'll wait and see. We'll get a few more comments in then before half-time. It's a poor corner. Doesn't even beat the front post. That's poor, wasted by Spain. Mark Stevenson, best Irish manager is Jack Charlton. 100%. Aaron Dove, winning the In-Betweeners exam episode, energy drinks ruined. Yeah, 100%. Chris, how the hell did Morata miss that, Jack? Have you ever watched the In-Betweeners?
Yeah, of course, David. Everybody knows about the In-Betweeners over here.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good.
Well, maybe not everybody, not everybody, but yeah, people are well aware of the In-Betweeners. Yeah, don't you guys worry.
Oh, Spain on the attack. Oh, great defending by Sweden. Oh, fair play. And Isaac just on the loose. No, he's giving away a free kick. Unlucky. Ben Kaufman, remember when people were saying that Morata is better than His Royal Excellency Harold Edward Kane, MBE? Good times. Yeah, no, it's crazy. They're crazy, aren't they? Crazy bunch, them Chelsea guys. We have Mr. Crazy D. I just want to see attacking football next season. Even if we lose, you got to crawl before you can walk. Okay, fair comment. Aaron Dove, do Germans still have the green second kit? That was in honour of Ireland being the only team who played them after World War II. Jack, you'd know this. Do they still have it?
No, they're doing the all-black kit now. I'm not sure for reasons why, but I did not know that was the reason why they did the green kit for so many years. That's really interesting. I would love to look up that.
I'm rooting for the Germans now.
Yeah, that's actually, maybe it's more the Germans did it because they were so ashamed after what had happened that, the Irish were the only ones willing to, give them their respect. But yeah, maybe
we're a peacekeeping nation, lad. We're neutral. We're neutral on every war. We're just the peacekeepers. You send us in after, just to keep the peace. That's what we do. Yeah, Mark Stevenson's best Spurs kit was the Hummels kit back in the 80s, 100%. And they're actually, they're nice. I like them. Christopher Clark. I hope Sweden do well. I'm interested to see how that guy Isaac does. He's not doing too bad. Look,
it's hard to judge him, right?
Isaac off this game. Sweden are just sitting back. They're not playing to his strengths. He's doing a lot of running around, but he's probably had the best chance of the game. I should have put that on the half volley bomb corner. What a block. Block and then off the post. Oh.
Wow. I can't wait to see this chance. But David, I got a good question for you, maybe for the halftime area, because it will be.
Jack! 1 second. Wait until you see this. He shoots, right? It comes off the Spanish defender, and then it hits the post. And comes back out. Isaac was unlucky with that chance. But Spain, look, Morata's had a chance. There's been the header from Danny Olmo. Few chances Spain should have scored, but it's 0-0 here. Right now. But sorry, Jack, crack on with the question, my man.
That was actually a very clever little fake shot there from Maybe that was going wide though. Actually, with Isak, the thing that Llorente blocked, that might have been going wide.
Yeah.
Pretty awful finish, actually, if you ask me. He should have just banged it on the half volley. But the question I have for you, David, obviously, David, you're a bit more of the number 10 mold. You're a bit more of, that guy with a nice touch that everybody wants to link around. But, when you're in this situation, if you've ever been in this situation, right, where, the other team, they're dominating the ball, you're, practically 11 men behind the ball, 10 men behind the ball. When you're in this type of situation, do you get a little bit of adrenaline? Do you get a bit of a fire in your belly, just because, you're coming up against maybe a better team, when you guys get the ball and you break, you're going to have all the adrenaline behind your legs. I mean, what does it feel like to be one of these maybe players in this situation, either up front or in the center half position? What do you think?
Sweden situation.
Yeah, in Sweden situation. What's it like to be a team like this, just always sitting behind the ball, concentrated the whole time? What's it like maybe as a player? Do you think?
Look, as a striker, it's very frustrating, being honest. It's very frustrating. You're doing a lot of tracking back and stuff you don't want to do. Me, look, they're just lucky I wasn't lazy. I'm more of a Carlos Tevez. I work hard, I chase everything down. I believe in harrying and running down after them, chasing down lost causes.
Yeah.
And not letting them settle, not letting them get their passing routine. Look, it's very frustrating, but if you're willing to do it, it's fun because you can just run around. You're free. You can pick up balls in different areas if you can if you win the ball back. You can express yourself a little more. But look, if you're a striker that doesn't really want to do the work and you want the ball to feet, which I'm more like now than what I was back then, it can be very frustrating, Jack, to be honest with you. You just, the last thing you want to be doing is running around. You want to be making runs in behind. And especially, it's even worse when, your team do get the ball back and you're running in behind and trying to play it short here, or you're looking for a short and they're playing it in behind. That's when it becomes really frustrating, and that's when you kind of
lose
your head a little bit. But if it's working, like now today, for instance, right, first game of the group, I'd be in that dressing room and say Isaac or someone, I'd be absolutely buzzing. Look, your team's doing well. You're getting what you came here for, a nil or a draw. You know what I mean? And he's also had his chance. He gets another chance. I'm sure he'd be sitting there bullying to put it away. So look, as in a team aspect, yeah, you're absolutely buzzing. Maybe if you're someone like Marcus Berg, who probably doesn't really want to be doing too much of the running, you're probably pissed off, to be honest with you. Absolutely. Honestly, what's the point of having you on? You may as well just put another midfielder on, let him run around. That's my opinion.
I mean, David, that's actually a really good point. Maybe a good segue. If you're one of these teams, you're going to be sitting back. You're going to be maybe even what Slovakia did, right? What Slovakia did, even though I think they were actually in Poland's half, plenty of the game, right? Slovakia was probably anticipating to be sitting back, and what they did actually is that they put two midfielders practically up top who were very technically gifted, and the likes of Marek Hamšík, the eternal legend from Napoli, and then Andre Duda, who maybe plenty don't know, but he's very gifted technically player, good on the ball. And they put actually two midfielders, almost like two number 10s up top. What do you make of that if you're sitting behind the ball the whole game? Is it better to just put two number 10s up there maybe?
I would, to be honest with you, because if you get the ball to the number 10, at least he can try and make something happen.
He can hold on to the ball.
You have two of them there, and then when you don't have the ball, the two of them can drop deep. You can just run around. Because honestly, if you're, like, say, Marcus Berg right now, right? You're an isolated man. There's nothing you can do. You're not built to be chasing down lost causes, right?
Right.
You're built to kind of hold up the ball to come to you, hold up the ball, play your team in. But your team doesn't have the ball. And even when your team do get the ball, spraying and pressing them that hard to try and take it off them, it's not getting to them. So, honestly, you probably just feel like a spare prick. You know what I mean? If that was like, that's probably the way he's feeling. But again, the very best strikers in the world keep their head in the game and know that one chance will come.
Interesting. And if you're one of these center backs in this situation, right, you're constantly switched on, almost kind of like how Joe Rodon probably was feeling for Wales the other game, constantly switched on. You have something to deal with every moment. There's somebody always running it behind. There's somebody always on the wing about to cross it in. I mean, if you've ever been in that position, or even if you haven't, I mean, what is it like to maybe be like a center back like that, where practically you're defending for your life the whole game? Honestly,
it's what defenders live for. Yeah. I'd love it. Just getting up there, clearing balls. Honestly, right? So, like, I used to play centre midfield for a while. The general, like Roy Keane, lad, I get stuck into anybody. But I can play as well. I have a very good passing range as well. And if Honestly, like just speaking from a midfielder, when your back's against the wall like that and you're constantly getting in the tackles and stopping them frustrating, there's nothing more better. You know, you're every tackle you make, the more focus you're getting, the more adrenaline pumping through your body. Every clearance, every block, the more you know it's working, the more adrenaline, the more effort you're putting in. And it just leads to one of them games where you're just fucking everywhere. You're like a steam train. Honestly, they're loving it. Their adrenaline is pumping. Okay, living on the edge a little bit, but
that's all the part of it, David. You're living on the edge, right? You know, it's very dangerous playing against a better team. In a way, maybe you have nothing to lose, right? You know that they're better than you. You know that they're going to have more than you. So maybe, yeah, you're exactly right, David. It's kind of that brilliant feeling of a bit of adrenaline, living on the edge, you know, like, you know, taking risks. Yeah, you're absolutely right, David.
But if I was Spain, though, Jack, right now,
you'd be frustrated.
Near the end of the first half, they were starting to go direct more down the middle.
Yeah.
Right? Now, where all their chances have come from is getting the ball out wide and putting the ball in behind the back four.
Yeah.
Because Sweden's back four they're not looking too comfortable dealing with it. They're missing headers, you know, stuff like that. And the chances are there. The ball's coming in. They're not dealing with it. So if I was Luis Enrique right now, I'd just be telling him, get the ball, get it out wide. Morata, one of the midfielders, break from midfield, run off Morata, run in behind them, and just keep getting them balls in. Keep getting them balls in. If Morata misses it, the midfielder's there to get on the end of it. You know, but just keep putting the balls in. Sweden cannot deal with it. I don't know why they started to go more direct and more through the middle. I don't understand it. Just keep doing what's working. Just keep doing what's working. Keep peppering the ball in there. If they start to deal with it then switch it up and go down the middle. But if you're looking for a goal, why switch it up? Just keep going down the same route. The chances are presenting themselves. Honestly, looking at the chances here, they could be 4 or 5-0 up right now. They really could be.
David. Absolutely, David. And that's where the luck comes into play for Sweden. But David, I mean, you brought up an interesting point there. If you were to play more direct, if you were to play more down the middle, obviously, right, you know, you're able to get maybe a better chance. But when you really think about it, then you're maybe playing more into Sweden's hands. Am I right? Where Sweden, maybe they might be able to nick the ball off you in the middle of the park. They'll actually maybe have a bit more men going forward, probably in a certain situation. If you are playing more direct through the middle, is that maybe playing more into Sweden's hands than if you were to do what you were instead of doing what you were saying, which is continue to go down the flanks, continue to use Jordi Alba, continue to cross balls in. That's actually a bit more conservative, ironically.
Look, for me, playing through the middle, the way Sweden are set up, right, the bodies block up the middle. It's designed to get Spain to get the ball out wide. Don't let anything come through the middle, right? So it's designed to set up like that. But what's not good enough is that the Sweden aren't dealing with the balls coming in.
Yes.
Right? So Spain just keep doing it. They're allowing you to do it. Keep doing it. Playing through the middle, right, when they're blocking up the middle, if they lose the ball there, all it takes is 2 players to be in the right position with your striker up front, and you have a break on. And all it takes is the fullbacks for Spain to be pushed on. You're on their centre-backs. You could have a 3-on-2 situation. That's all it takes. It's very dangerous, especially when the game's in the balance right now. And if Sweden do want to go and score, I don't see Spain winning this. They may get a draw out of it, but if Sweden want to go and score, I do not see Spain winning it. For me, if I was Spain, I genuinely would just keep getting the ball out wide, keep putting the ball in behind the back four. They've already got 5-6 chances off the back of it. Playing through the middle is not working for them. They tried to play through the middle that time. Sweden did take the ball off them, and Isaac was true. You know what I mean? They were lucky. Defender more or less kind of like kicked it off the line, off the post, and back out. They got away with it. And look, that would have been Sweden's game plan down to a T if that went in.
No,
they'd be absolutely loving life. So, if I was Spain, obviously, if it's not on one side, rotate it across the middle, but be snappy, be quick, be on your toes. Last thing you want to be doing is flat-footed in there and Sweden nicking the ball off you and getting on the counter. But Jack, you all right for 1 minute just while I go and get a quick drink?
No problem, everybody. Yeah, no problem, David. Listen, everybody, this is what I would say is that with La Roja right now, with Spain, it's looking a little dangerous. And what it always comes to, and I believe this was in the Austria game, is it always comes down to scoring in the 50th, 60th minute. It's scoring before the 60th minute in the second half. If you're able to bring something in, if you're able to, cause Sweden to sweat again in the next 15 minutes of that second half, and if you're able to get a goal within those next 15 minutes, absolutely vital absolutely vital, because then in that 15 minutes, then Sweden have to basically change, right, everything that they had anticipated for how the game was supposed to go. They want to be able to get through those next 15 minutes, and they want to be able to, after those 15 minutes, be able to shut up shop and be able to get either 1 point or 3 points out of the game. But if Spain are able to pressure them enough and are able to maybe kind of rattle them enough where they're able to actually get a goal within those next 15 minutes, that would absolutely be vital to them, because it would basically put Sweden on the back foot, change their whole plan, where Sweden then at the end of the day, they have to get a goal. They have to do something in order to get a goal, and they have to expose themselves a bit more, which is all that Spain could ever really want when you think about it. So yeah, when I think about it, it goes the other way. Either Spain have to absolutely know what they're doing in the next 15 minutes in order to get a goal, so that Sweden have to come out a bit more, or you have to look at Sweden. Sweden have to know that they have to shut up shop for the next 15 minutes in order for Spain to get a little bit more frustrated, for Spain to probably, like David was saying even earlier, play a little bit more direct, play a little bit through the middle, and then Sweden would be playing into their hands. Sweden would be able to maybe nick a ball every now and again through the likes of Albin Ekdal, through the likes of Olsen there, and then they'll be able to move on forward. I think Olsen is probably, to be honest, I think he's had a pretty good game. I think Ekdal's had a pretty good game. It's really hard to know, though. Like, they've just really been entirely sitting behind the ball when you really think about it. And with everybody sitting behind the ball like that, there's not a lot you really can get out of the game, and there's not a lot that you can really think of in terms of chances. So like I said before a million times, Sweden, they really only want to get a point out of this game. They got 3 points. That'd be an absolute miracle. But yeah, they're really only looking to get a point out of this. And if they do get that point, I do think that'll be credit to them. Absolute credit to them. I do apologize, though, to everyone. My stream, I'm trying to cast it through my phone, like a Chromecast, to the TV, and it's sometimes about 15 seconds, it seems like, behind David. So David, if you want to hear David's reaction, David is a little bit ahead of everybody. David's probably right in line with you guys, and I'm a little bit behind, unfortunately, just because I'm trying to save a little bit of that I don't know, that TV technology. But yeah, David, I was talking about Sweden. They need to be, basically, Sweden and Spain, they know with Spain, they know that they need to score within the next 15 minutes in the second half. If they score within the next 15 minutes, they have to tell Sweden that they have to drop every game plan that they had for the rest of the game, and they have to get a goal. But then vice versa, if Sweden were to hold shop until the 60th minute, nothing comes in through, no big chances, nothing. They feel confident. They still have a 0-0 at 60th minute. It's playing absolutely into Sweden's hands. I think the next 15 minutes are vital.
100%. I fully agree with you. And look, the thing is, even if it comes 78 minutes, I don't expect Sweden to change their style. I expect them to continue this right through to 90 plus, 93, 94 minutes, right the way through. I do not expect them to make changes to go for it for the last 10, last 5. I expect them to just still do what they're doing and stick away and grind for this point. But Jack, do you need to get a drink? Do you need to top up on the bourbon?
I'll top up mine, David. But yeah, that's all I'll leave you with. Maybe you can address the comments, or maybe you can touch on what I was saying. But I was just going to say, maybe coming from a player yourself, it's always about, if you're Sweden in this moment, that next 15 minutes, coming out of the second half is absolutely vital. It dictates, I think, the game, because you have your energy, you still have that adrenaline. And if the other team doesn't score within that 15 minutes with their adrenaline, with their energy, you might think that you maybe will be able to hold this out.
No, you would, honestly. If I was playing a Sweden situation, the longer the game goes on, the more comfortable I'd probably feel in a way. Because, your game plan is working. Everything your manager set up, everything you train for this game, it's working down to a T. So, I'd probably feel more and more confident as it goes on. But look, I'll bring up
I'll be right back, David. Just going to top it off.
Brilliant. Go and get that bourbon, man. Sit back and watch this Spanish onslaught, Maybe whip yourself up a bit of paella, Jack, while you're at it. We have Mark Stevenson. He says Chris Houghton, Daurambeck, Urazimov. I hope I got that right. He says hello, big up. Aaron Dove says we had quality players back in the 80s, 90s. FA ruined us. 100%. Chris says, Jack, if Spain doesn't score, I can see a shot coming. Could very well happen, Chris. I hope you don't have money on it, man. Clutch Austin says, hi, how are you keeping, man? I hope you're keeping well. Super Flea says, give me strength. I'm tired of being a Spurs fan. Help me, God. No, look, we're getting a new sporting director in. We have the manager coming in. We just have to get behind it. We have to back it. And hopefully they can do the job and turn it around. Look, we're off the back of a very poor season. No doubt denying that. But look, we have to get optimistic. We have to get our hopes up. We have to go into the new season believing. We really do. There's no point of being down about it. The season's over. The Euros is here. Sit back, unwind. Forget about it for a few weeks. That's what I say, to be honest with you. And, look, it is 0-0 here at half-time. The Sweden players are taking the pitch again for the second half. No, Spanish players are already out there waiting. Maybe the Spanish are eager to get at them. Maybe it's a tactic for Sweden to kind of delay come out last on purpose to kind of wind Spain up, leave them standing out there for a few minutes, and hopefully let them stiffen up for a couple of seconds. Could be a ploy by Sweden. Who knows? Who else have we got here in the comments? Chris says, I have David, big mistake, methinks. Nah, look, I think Spain will nick a goal, to be honest with you. But if you lose money, man, commiserations. Mark Stevenson says Scotland 0, Czech Republic 2. Yeah, that was what a goal. What a goal by Patrick Schick for his second. Look, his first goal, he took the header well. Buried it. Second goal. Oh, what a strike. What a strike that was. Oh, it was unbelievable. I'd say it could end up being goal of the Euros. It really could. He struck it sweetly. Shades of Beckham via Wimbledon all them years ago. But it was a great goal by Patrick Schick today. And then, of course, who was the other game on today? Who was the other game, Jack? Oh, Poland-Slovakia. Slovakia beating Poland 2-1, which leaves Slovakia in a very nice position. I wasn't expecting them to beat Poland today, but they'll be absolutely delighted with that. Oh, come on, ref, you looked for that. That's too easy. Spain, Spanish winger just knocking by the ball by the fullback and going over. Lustig probably, fell for it, but it's too easy. He went looking for it. He was already rolling. He was already falling down before Lustig touched him. Free kick. Spain are on the attack. It's more of what we've seen in the first half. Sweden getting nearly every man behind the ball. Spain just recycling the ball, trying to keep possession. And again, Sweden are dealing with it at the back, and that's a free kick out, surely. Yeah, free kick out.
Stadium? Is this Sevilla Stadium in Spain? I don't think it is. Looks like
I'm not sure where this is, to be honest with you.
It's in Seville, which would be for Sevilla. But if I remember Sevilla Stadium, it's a bit more like standing right above the pitch. If I remember Sevilla Stadium, It's not. It doesn't have this ring around it.
Yeah, 100%. Jack, do you want to change the banner to 0-0? Because TM1 has said, "What's the Spain score?" It's 0-0, my man. So it is.
Absolutely.
We'll put it up on the banner now. Sweden with the ball into the box, straight into the keeper's hands. Really, look, Sweden are huffing and puffing. They're not really showing much going forward. But look, Spain, much of what we've seen in the first half, Spain are on the ball trying to attack. They're huffing and puffing, but will they be able to blow the house down, Jack? That's what we want to know. That's what we want to see. But who knows? Look, Sweden's game plan is working right now. They're not really engaging Spain at all until they kind of more or less get to the halfway line.
Yeah, no, I think with Sweden, David, like we said, we were talking about that 15 minutes, and as you would know, as maybe more of an experienced footballer, or just at least a better footballer, as you would know, David. David, I think you're muted. But David,
sorry, I was just talking to the missus. She's off to work, lad.
No, sorry, brother. As David, as you would know, as an experienced footballer, as a good footballer, probably better than me, you would know as when you're in this moment, when you are sitting behind the ball like this, when you do know that you are the inferior team, you really do have to focus on this first 15 minutes in the second half, because the team that's better than you, they're going to pretty much give you all they got in that first 15 minutes with the players that they still have. And then after that 15 minutes, as you maybe know, David, they will get a bit more desperate. They might start to expose themselves a bit more, maybe even play a bit more direct, as you were saying, through the middle, and maybe expose themselves that way. Whatever it may be, it's more about that first 15 minutes, because if Spain score in this first 15 minutes, you could really see Sweden actually having to be on the back foot instead of the other way around, where if Spain don't score in the first 15 minutes, it's all playing into Sweden's hands after that.
No, 100%. 100% it is. I agree with you. And that's a good point you made there, Jacko, to be fair. You know, the longer the game goes on, the more desperate Spain might get. And that's where Sweden might find their chances, you know. And that, free kick for Sweden in behind the Spain defence. The Sweden player that ran across the back, he was still onside. All he had to do was just pass it across, and he absolutely kicked fresh air.
David, oh my gosh. David, David, I mean, David, we don't know, David. We don't know. We're on a different channel here. There could be a lot of Davies apologists here, but let me know, everybody. Was that a Ben Davies attempt at a cross? It very much looked like one.
Oh, 100% it was. That was pure Ben Davies. Panics when they get past the halfway line. But that was a real chance for him to put the ball back across.
Oh, David, he had two people to hit it to. Yeah, he had two people to choose from. I think it was Marcus Berg it might have been Marcus Berg crossing it. I think that was Marcus Berg crossing it, David.
Yeah, I think it was. It was poor. Very poor.
That's a howler. Yeah, that's a howler that's embarrassing.
Yeah, Mark Stevenson says Czechoslovakia won the Euros back in 1976, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where the Panenka was invented. Your man scored that penalty. He done the Panenka. And I'm almost sure that's where it was invented from. Mark Stevenson, you might know, but I'm almost 100% sure I'm right. Chris says, Jack, it's not looking likely that they're going to score. He has a bit of money on it. Yeah, and we know it, Jack. We know it by his comments. He has a bit of money on it. Look, he's hoping that they win. Chris, another wasted chance for Spain, 100%. James Redmond, centre-back, Skriniar's value is increasing, 60 million right now. Yeah, well, especially, I have to say, actually, it was a nicely took volley by him today, because most centre-backs would just lash at it. He had one area where he could have hit that to get through on goals, and he hit it perfectly.
Chest, bang. Yeah. Chest, bang. Yeah, beautifully done by Skriniar. With Skriniar as well, is also what made it very class as well, David. Wasn't necessarily a top bins finish, wasn't really hitting the upper V or anything. Just chested it, put it down, off his right peg. Bottom left corner, just absolute class, if you ask me, really. Striker's finish.
No, it's absolutely perfect, Jack, because the way he hit it, and with the defenders and all around him, the keeper couldn't see where it was, couldn't see it. Just basically just putting it right into the bottom corner, it's perfect. Keeper was never getting onto it. Man.
That's a really good point, David. Right. It went through a ton of bodies, ton of players. And if you're adding a striker's finish, a low, nice, Kun Aguero kind of finish, to the bottom left-hand corner like Skriniar did. Yeah, brilliantly done.
Yeah. No, it was. He took it well, to be honest. It wasn't a centre-back's finish. It was a good finish. Ben Kaufman, I think Brian the Postman finishes better than Morata. Yeah, 100% he does, especially when the women answer the door to him. I can guarantee you that, man. Chris also says, don't mention Ben Davies. Alex Davies might come out. Yeah, no, 100%. I'm expecting to see him knocking around here in the comments. Honestly, the guy's ears prick up. Anytime someone mentions Ben Davies, next thing Alex appears. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Mark Stevenson says, Kasper Schmeichel says game between Finland and Denmark should not have resumed. No, 100%. I think it was Peter Schmeichel that said that that was actually bad form, wasn't it, Jack? That basically they were told, you resume it, you play it tomorrow, or you forfeit. Bit harsh.
Yeah, listen, David, I think we added a bit of context to this, right? Like UEFA, they were the ones that, were getting ready to, go to the courtrooms against everybody for the ESL. UEFA are practically desperate for money, similar to FIFA. They're having to they have to compete with the big clubs that are trying to break away from all the standard leagues. They're basically just, it's hard to say with UEFA. I mean, they're not saints themselves, let's say, David. They're not saints themselves. Yeah. They definitely are trying to make a profit. They're trying to make the most profit they can. And I think now more than ever, they're more desperate for the profit just so that they can keep some of the clubs that who've been bullying them recently in check. And so now with that Christian Eriksen situation, it's just really showed their true colors, if you ask me, David. They basically told the Danes, listen, we have TV revenue that we have to get, we have a tournament that we have to, keep perfect, because if there's any flaw in the tournament, maybe we'll lose value, we'll lose revenue or whatever it may be. And so I do think that they showed their true colors, David.
No, 100% they did, 100%, my man, 100%. But Yeah, look, do you know what interests me, Jack? Just looking at this here. Sweden seem to have dropped their defence a lot deeper this second half. So them balls that were going in behind, there's no room for them to go in behind anymore. So it looks like they've adjusted defensively a little. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm seeing, I don't know about you, David, but I'm seeing even those center mids actually dropping even further, where I think there was actually a bit of space in between those center backs and those center mids. So that maybe made the center backs push up, a little bit further. But now the center backs are maybe, like you said, David, are being told, you're the last man. There's no person that can get in behind you. If there's a person that's getting in behind you, it's the goalkeeper, cleating it up, and so pretty much I think the center mids are dropping even deeper. The center backs are dropping in even deeper. And so everything can be played in front of them instead of everything being played behind them.
No, 100%, man. 100%. I fully agree with you. And it looks like when Sweden get the ball now, they're going a lot more direct with it rather than trying to play it through Spain. They're going a lot more direct with it. Well. So you're seeing their three maybe stay up the pitch a little bit higher. Maybe Sweden fancy taking this,
Maybe they do, David. I think you're right. Obviously, maybe their coach is going for a different approach here. I think, like we said, that first 15 minutes is all that matters. It's very important. But I do agree with you here, David. I think it's all – I think Sweden have gone for a different approach, not only defensively but also offensively. I think they're now thinking that when they break, when they get the ball, instead of maybe thinking for a 1-2, a couple of passes here and there, to get in behind, they're really just thinking about that first ball, second ball that needs to be in behind. They need to get a little sooner, a little more direct, and to see what happens, really, David.
Catch Spain more off guard. I agree with you. But it's good management, though, Jack, because sometimes a team like Spain can come out in the second half, expect a lot just to do the same again. You know what I mean? The fact that he switched it up, it's made them guess, which means it's probably going to prolong them 15, 20 minutes to work it out, which means he will get to about 60, 70 minutes. With the game still in the balance with the way he wanted. And Spain might panic, and then, like we were saying, the chances will open up. So it's very good management if that is the case. That's what we're seeing. But if it is the case, it's very, very good management. Samuel Park says, thank you for the stream. No, look, thank you for tuning in, my man. I really appreciate it. Delight says, France and Germany tomorrow are going to be fire. It's going to be a cracker of a game. Can't wait to sit back and relax and watch that. I really can't. Chris says, David, remember last time I was on your stream, I mentioned Bobo the Clown and Alex, his ears pricked up. 100% I do, man. Mark Stevens says, second half, Spain versus Sweden. It's kicked off. Yeah, it's already kicked off, my man. We're already about 10 minutes into it here. And to be honest with you, Spain aren't knocking on the door as much as they were in the first half. Samuel Park, do you think Kane will leave Spurs if he wins the Euros because it's a major trophy? Yeah, I think if he gets the Euros, to be honest with you, he'll make his hunger even more, to be honest with you. And I think that'll pretty much make up his mind if it's not already made up. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, maybe, David. Yeah, it's a two-way street, David. I think you're right. Either answer could make sense. Once you taste success, right, David, you can't get enough of it, right? You want more of it, right? It's like a drug, probably winning. Once you win, for Harry, he probably will find it like a drug. But then again, maybe he wins once and then maybe like a drug as well. He'll think, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I got to do it with my own club. I've done it once, that's enough already. So maybe, it all depends on Harry, the person, right, David? But maybe it all depends whether he gets addicted to winning is really what it is or not. Right, David?
Yeah, it is. It is 100%. I fully agree with you there, lad. Fully agree with you. Spain or Sweden.
Winning is contagious. Here. Winning is contagious, David. But maybe he might find out he wins for in a whole tournament. It actually turns out, David, all of our sarcasm, puts egg on our face, and it is coming home, David. So when it does come home for Harry, maybe he finds out that that's actually all he needed. That's all the satisfaction he needed in life. Life is complete, and maybe he'll just settle down at Spurs.
Yeah, that would be nice. That's wishful thinking. I hope that's the case, Jacko. I really do. But I do think if he gets the Euro, if he wins the Euros, well, actually, apparently he's already won the Euros. He's English, isn't he? So apparently he's already won it. But look, if he does win the Euros, I think it'll only.
He's already dreamt of winning it last night. He's practically, I think he's already signed a new contract with Spurs.
Oh, the paparazzi were there taking pictures of the England team winning it. Do you not know that, Jack?
Yeah, David, like we said on the stream today, they've already sent in the stencil to the welder. The welder's already grinding it into the trophy as we speak. They've already, they already know what it looks like. They've already touched it practically, David. I think in the next game, maybe, David, against Scotland, in the next game, maybe they'll just put the trophy right there in the middle. They'll just touch it, kiss it, because it's already practically won.
Yeah, 100%. You never know. Look, against Scotland, they might lift the trophy. Who knows? In rugby, in the Six Nations, they actually have their own trophy. Scotland and England. So in the rugby, in the Six Nations, when they play each other, right? The winner, I think it's called the Calcutta Cup or something like that. And the winner wins the Calcutta Cup. They have their own trophy. And it's only invented so that they can actually win something. Only them would have it. But honestly, I'd expect to see them probably lift a trophy against Scotland. I expect there to be a trophy ceremony, because at the end of the day, Jack, we all know it's coming home. It's coming home. Southgate, you're the one. 3 lines on the shirt. Woody and Cliney out with their song this summer. John Barnes back in the day. Vindaloo, or whatever you want to call that song, and all that sort of stuff. Look, it's coming home, Jack. That's all we know. Ben Kaufman says, there's no way Levy and Paratici sell Kane to a Premier League team for anything less than £200 million. Samuel Clark, we learned that with Berba. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Daniel Levy's definitely not going to let go cheap anyway, that's for sure. James Redmond said Spain missed Moreno. Should have started. Bad mistake. Fair point. Chris says that's £20 down the drain. FU Spain. Chris says, David, stop picking on England now. No, I can't help it. Everybody's enjoying it. She's absolutely loving it. Marion Cranford, England are choke artists during big tournaments. The mindset has not changed. Back to the Bulldog mindset. 100% agree with you. And Gorguma with a donation as well. Big yourself up. No, honestly. Sweden are in the box. Good ball across. Oh, how has he missed? How has he missed that? Marcus Berg, is it? Marcus Berg, yeah. How did he miss that? That was on a plate, Jack. Isaac again. Great play. Beats 3 Spanish defenders. 3 of them, Jack. Ball across. Oh, all he had to do was tap it in. Honestly, if he swung his Mickey at it, that would have went in, Jack. Oh, how did he miss? That's shocking.
It's got a bit of Techers on him. Oh, my God. Yeah, David, I just saw it. That is a sitter. David, can I ask you this? What is people's problem sometimes with finishing with their left? Like really is sometimes. Like that moment right there, it's just like, what are you doing trying to finish with your right? Even if it's ugly, even if it's like, a bit of a Mandzukic. I call it the Mandzukic finish, because what I loved about Mandzukic was that he didn't care how it looked. He just put it in, kind of like Thomas Muller, right? They just put it in the net. They don't care how it looks. They don't care if it goes off their shin or, whatever it is. They just focus on putting it in the net. And it's like that guy, Marcus Barrick right there from Krasnodar, he's just focusing on looking pretty. He's focusing on putting away with his right, and it rolls across his foot like every other. Yeah,
that's two attempts. The cross that he flapped earlier already, and then that there, both on the left boot. The guy needs to go back and work on his left foot, honestly. How did he not miss that? Honestly, he could have swung his Mickey at that and he would have put that in. That's disgusting. That's a shocking miss. Goguma says, you're making me laugh while I'm watching the game. Love it. No, thank you. Appreciate it. And Shink says, at least Tottenham won't be blamed if England fail. There's only Kane left in the team. Yeah.
That's a good comment. That's a good comment.
100%. And Hayden Julake says, or Julek says, Spurs need this Swedish striker. No, we do. Isaac, yes. Marcus Berg, definitely not. Aaron Dove, Lamella can't finish. Pass with his right, everything on left foot pisses me off 100%. And Vera Sai says Isaac's been very good. He has been. He's a very tricky customer. But
not on the first chance, though, David. If you ask me on that first chance, if you ask me, it's his first chance of the game. I don't know why he's taking his time like that. I think you just smack it on the half volley. If you ask me, you just absolutely smack it, and you hit it near post, right over the keeper's shoulder, right over his ear, and you celebrate. And especially right after he did that brilliant fake shot. He did that brilliant fake shot after everything, but then he actually missed it wide. It was Marcos Llorente that actually only kept it interesting. At first we thought it was a good thing, but he actually missed it quite wide.
Yeah, he did. He did. Oh, I don't know how, Jack. Ben Kaufman says they'll find a way to blame Tottenham. Samuel Park, thoughts on Haaland in the Prem. Before I get on to thoughts on Haaland in the Prem, first of all, We Are Tottenham TV Army, the Harris Army, let's combine. Make sure you smash a like on the channel, subscribe on like on the stream, subscribe on the channel. Why not throw in a couple of super chats, show your appreciation, and feel free to grab a channel membership as well for all the fan shows that the boys deliver after every game that Tottenham play. And probably I think they'll be doing one when we get this new Guy Fonseca in as well. So why not grab your membership for that? But or just even donate because it's coming home. Honestly, you could donate, just donate whatever, just say it's coming home. That's what you can do. But no, look, Spain, Jack, it's interesting. I actually think Sweden have had the better chances this half than Spain.
To be honest, yeah, David, like we said, it's all about they've already made it past this 15-minute barrier. That's all very important. When you really think about it, I mean, even Isak right now, he's absolutely dicing through these defenders. He's shoving them over. He's really up for it. And to be honest, they made it through that first 15-minute wave. They made it through everybody. I think it's a good thing. I think Sweden have it down, and we're welcoming in Tottenham away. Brian, both of the Brians, really. Yeah, introduce yourselves maybe. What are you thinking? Are you guys going Spain for this point? Or are you guys going Sweden? What are you thinking at this point, lads?
Yeah, to be honest, we were just recording our podcast, so I've had it kind of on the side. I've been glancing at it, but I haven't had a good solid look at it. But I've been watching it for the last 10 minutes now, and I had a feeling it was going to be a low scoring game. I know that Sweden generally they don't have a ton up front, and Spain have Morata up front who can't seem to hit a blind side of a barn door. So I'm not surprised it's 0-0.
Now Morata's just been brought off, lads.
Yeah, probably for the right thing. Yeah.
Who's on now? Thiago? No, yep. Moreno.
Yeah.
Moreno.
I think it's Moreno, yeah.
I've got to say, I've got to go with Jack. I'm going with Jack. I've got to go with he's wearing his shirt, and I can't not go against our Jack with his shirt on. But I watched David your show earlier with Jack, and you were saying you got a soft spot for Sweden. There is something about Sweden for some reason why it makes me have a soft.
It's the women,
yeah. I mean that. Yeah, my wife's starting. Yeah. It's the women. Yeah. So, but no, it's they do play some good football, and I think they are a dark horse to watch. They are a dark horse to watch. Thiago.
I tell you, your man Isak he's been absolutely brilliant for Sweden today. He's twisted the Spain defence up single-handedly, with any opportunity he's got. Honestly, the second half is looking more like Sweden. Sweden are playing into it. First half, lads, Spain absolutely dominated. They just kept on putting ball beyond ball in behind the Sweden back four, and we're just missing out. Probably had a couple of chances they should have buried, but the second half here, lads, honestly, Sweden could be 1 or 2-0 up. They've had a couple of chances here.
Really, wow.
Marcus Berg on his left foot. Sorry, Jack.
Oh yeah, no, Marcus Berg has missed some sitters. But David, I was just going to ask you because I know you probably might be a fan of a bit of the retro look. If you look at Isak, if you remember his face, kind of it looks like a bit of a retro striker, right? He has a bit of that long, skinny mustache. Bit tall as well, right? Looks kind of like a classic number 9. What do you think of Isak? And just to be honest, if you ask me, he looks like more of a retro striker.
Yeah, look, I actually like him. Look, he's pace. He's got pace. He's powerful. But not only that, Jack, he's very good on the ball. Very good.
Intelligent on the ball. Yeah.
Where's he playing right now, lads?
Very good close control. He's well able to beat the player.
Sociedad.
Yeah. Where is this game? Is it being played in Sweden?
It's being played in Spain.
It's Sevilla Stadium.
Okay, it's in Spain.
Beautiful stadium they have, to be fair.
It does. I'll tell you what.
Distance from the pitch is a little bit weird, but
I was watching the Holland game yesterday, the Holland-Ukraine game, and I was they're doing it again now. Booking.com, my fucking old company all around the stadium. That's just what I was about to say, and they just came on. Bookingbloody.com.
Spain, it's not for the one to train with Spain anyway, lads. Honestly, they're throwing the kitchen sink. Brian's mother-in-law, everybody had
that Morata miss in the first half where he blatant. It's a goal. He's got to score that, right?
I love you, David.
Missing sitter after sitter for sure, Brian. Yeah, absolutely, Morata.
Thank God they're taking off Marcus Berg here now. Thank God. The guy, honestly, wouldn't hit a barn door. Guys, he had a sitter there, a 6-yard box off the edge of the 6-yard box, and he missed it. Shocking.
Is that what I heard you talking about just before I came in? when Jack was saying about a left foot.
Yeah.
No, he forgot he owned one. He forgot he owned a left foot. He forgot he even bought a left foot before he went into the game. You know, it was really quite shocking, David. And they're bringing on Robin Quaison. They're bringing on Robin Quaison, which we shouted out, by the way, in David and I's Part 2 Euro preview. Robin Quaison, he's from FC Mainz in the Bundesliga. I believe he's actually Mainz's all-time leading scorer as well. So you at least know he's probably got, I think that means he has I think he had like 48 goals or something in total, which right isn't plenty. But Robin Quaison definitely knows how to put the ball in the back of the net, maybe more so than Marcus Berg.
Jack, your European football is knowledge. It's just
absurd. It's absurd.
It's honestly, if there's a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire European football, you've got to go on it, mate.
What is Robin Quaison? Yeah.
It's a Jeopardy version, right?
But look, honestly, let's take a few comments here from the chat. We have James Jarvis said had the best goal by Schick and the worst misses by Borgal in one day. 100% James Jarvis. Couldn't agree more. Lazy 801 Jack, he says, "Hey Jack, I'm driving down Eastern Parkway right now. Shout, come on, you Spurs, out the window, and he'll try and find you."
Oh my gosh, you could tell him to stay on Eastern Parkway. Tell him headed over Eastern Parkway later, you know, because like I said, I ran out of beer today, and so I'm gonna head over to my local bodega and Eastern Parkway. Tell him Eastern Parkway is my street, as I said earlier today on our stream. Crown Heights is my neighborhood. He doesn't have to tell me where he is, but he can find me in Crown Heights anytime.
Look at Jack getting with all the fan mail. People wanting you to scream out of balconies now, mate.
He's getting stalked by the fans.
I'm a couple of by the way, if he's still listening, I'm a couple of blocks off Eastern Parkway. But so is I think something like the Brooklyn per square mile. I think it's like 40,000 people per square mile. So you'll probably hear 40,000 people screaming at once to you at Crazy 8. So one of them is me.
100%.
You know what, Jack? I've got to come out to New York. I've never done New York yet.
Oh, New York's beautiful. We should go in the summer. Yeah,
it's beautiful in the summer. Yeah.
Gaguma's in the chat. He says, "Hi, Brian Daigle."
Who does? Who said it?
Gaguma. He says, "Hi, Brian."
Hello, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah. We have Will Stewart, Mr. THFC rants in the chat. He says, "I won't watch Sweden after they diss Zlatan like that in 2018. Always root for them to lose." Look, Will, honestly, I have a soft spot for Sweden. There's nothing better than seeing a nice blonde with blue eyes and a yellow jersey, honestly. Nothing better, Will. Come on. You're letting the side down here. Look, I love Zlatan, but don't let that shadow you from definitely taking a trip over to Sweden anyway. Vera Sly says, "Big club like Barca even have shown interest in Isaac. His release clause is 70 million, by the way. Well, that rules out Tottenham, doesn't it, Brian?" Yeah.
7 million would rule out Tottenham right now. So put an extra 0 on that, no chance. But do you know what? It's just come to my attention that I've just realised that the boxes here, me and Jack are in Spain and you and Brian are in Sweden. Look at that.
That's impressive.
Have you just realised?
Impressive stuff.
That's very impressive.
Yeah. We're representing because Alexander Isak is on the pitch. You know, we're maybe David and Brian there on the right. They're representing Alexander Isak in the Basque region of Spain, and we're representing the conservative, kind of almost authoritarian central Madrid consortium.
Nice.
But actually, I guess with Luis Enrique, we're actually representing the Catalonian himself. We are representing the Catalonians, I guess, because there's no Madrid people.
Yeah, what's that all about? There's not one Madrid player.
We're the Catalonians. Yeah.
Jack, you know, when was the last time that happened?
I mean,
I don't think there maybe wasn't a time.
It's ever happened. Yeah.
No, it's never happened. But then again, I also do rate Luis Enrique. We were talking about it today. Luis Enrique, technically, of the last 10 years, apart from Guardiola, he's been the next best, Barcelona manager. So I do rate him, but it's not going too well, and Sweden are proving to be very frustrating.
Yeah, Spain just had another chance there.
It's a good game.
Great ball in behind the back. We've got ball pulled back, volley blocked by the defender. Great pullback, by the way. To be fair, great control to keep it in. A good strike. He set himself up, done everything right. Little bounce off the knee. Strikes it cleanly. Good block by the Swedish defence. They're just frustrating them. Good technique there, to be fair. But look, we have a question from Samuel Park. Who would you want or it wasn't Samuel Parker, it was Levi Tucker. Which of these players would you take at Spurs? So you pick one from Sweden, one from Spain, and we'll start with Brian Ireland and work our way back around.
Oh man, you start with Jackie Boy. He'll know all the players. First of all, I got to look some stuff up first. But...
yeah, exactly. I'm checking the lineup right now.
Yeah, me too. That's Jackie.
Right,
Boy.
well, I call that well. It's changed a bit, but I can give you the original starting lineup. It was Seaman in goal for Spain. Llorente, Laporte, Pau Torres, and Alba formed the back line. Koke, Rodri, and Gonzalez forming the midfield, with Ferran Torres, Morata, and Olmo forming the front three for Spain. Sweden, Olsen in goals. Lustig, Danielsen, Lindelof, Augustinsson forming the back line. Larsen, Ekdal, Olsen forming the midfield, with Forsberg, Berg, and Isaac forming the front line. I'll start. This is going to be easy. I take Pau Torres from Spain, the guy that plays for Villarreal. I believe he's a left-footed centre-back as well, so that fit in perfectly at Tottenham. So there's one off the list. Absolutely nailed that, 10 out of 10. And then we're going to take, from Sweden, Isaac up front.
Oh, that was my choice. I'm looking at it.
So there again, I fix Spurs' problems. Bring me in as manager. No need to bring in Fonseca. Bring in the Irish Hotspur, Don Hotspur. David Harris. That's who's the next manager should be. 2 signings. Perfect for Tottenham. Left-sided centre-back and a player that can play up front or out on the right. What more do you need? But we'll go back to Brian Ireland now. We'll put the pressure on him. Turn the heat up in the kitchen. It's probably already warm enough over there, but we'll turn the heat up even more.
It's hot. It's
player
hot.
from Spain, a player from Sweden.
I'm sweating right now. I would pick the same player from Sweden in Isaac, and a striker, young striker, quality player, and something we need depth in that position. So I don't know if it was okay to pick the same as you, David, but I had to because like I said, I didn't have a ton of time to do this. And if I could get to Jordi Alba from Barcelona, I would get him in as a left back, and just from some quality captain material in our defense to lead some of the younger players and to teach them how to play the fucking game. Those are my picks.
Great points there. Great points, I have to say. Look, we'll go to Brian Daigle next, and then we'll hand it over to the YOLO expert.
Jack should have gone last year because everyone would just say, what Jack said.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Jack knows well. Believe me, guys, there's not a lot to choose from in the starting 11. There's not a lot to choose from.
The Spain player I'm going to choose, just because I've liked him for years, is Koke, or however you pronounce his name, Koke.
Right.
I think he's a fantastic player. So I would pick him. But if I had to pick a second one, I'd probably take Rodri from Man City, just because I can. Because he's been fantastic.
I thought of that as well, but
because he's been fantastic. Sweden, I can't confess to knowing a lot about Sweden, so I'm just going through their team now. And honestly, I'm looking at it now, and I really, really don't know a lot about Sweden. So seeing that we're all going to say it looks like we might need a striker, and if this Isaac is 70 million, and apparently we might get 150 million, 70 million, I would have to go with this Isaac, just based on what you guys are saying, because I can't confess to my Swedish knowledge being fantastic.
Emil Forsberg, he's another good player for Sweden, actually. He plays for Leipzig, I believe it is, in Germany.
For sure.
He's a good player.
Actually, did you say Henrik Larsson someplace for them?
Yeah, Jordan Larsson.
Let's just take Jordan Larsson and just hope he has funky hairdo like him and turns out to be anything like him.
They all got good hair,
That'd be nice.
Genetically.
That'd be nice. Because you know what? Jordan Larsson was actually playing under Henrik Larsson for the team he was managing in Sweden. So
really?
You know Henrik kind of... Yeah. I know a lot about him because I'm a big Henrik Larsson fan. I used to love him. Very cultured centre forward. Brilliant for Celtic. What more do you want? But look, Jack, enough. People are sick of hearing me, man. What 2 players do you want to bring in?
Listen, I think it's got to be obvious. I think if it's a dream scenario like the subscriber is saying here, I think it's got to be Mikel Oyarzabal, who's been on the bench and just subbed in for Spain from Real Sociedad. And then I think you take the other guy from Real Sociedad, the retro-looking striker, the handsome man himself, Alexander Isak. I think you would go for the double there. They've obviously combined well over the seasons. I think Isak had 17 goals all competitions. I think Oyarzabal had something like 21 goals or like whatever combined goals and assists or something absurd. Like he's had an absurd season. He's a left-footed kind of left winger, which means he has great delivery, very tricky as well. If I had a dream scenario, I would take Isak from Sweden and Oyarzabal from Spain at the same time. Both teammates as well, so they would know each other well.
Look at that in-depth knowledge. You only get that with
ridiculous.
Jack. You only they're teammates. They live on the same street. Their groceries are the same.
They like free trade coffee. Yeah.
It's insane knowledge, I have to say. As soon as you start speaking about these players, you just stop doing what you're doing and you listen. But look, Spain just had another chance there, guys. A ball into the box, put right on top of the keeper. Keeper dealt with it, punched it away fairly handily. Sean McKenna says, anyone who's Spain's striker? Yes, Moreno, the guy from Villarreal, over 30 goals this season. So that's who came on for Morata. And to be honest with you, they've probably looked a bit more toothless since they took Morata off, I'll be honest with you, for me. At least with Morata, they had the option to get the balls into the box. Right now, they don't really have that option. And Sweden are just dealing with them fairly handily. And look, this is playing right into Sweden's hands.
I've got to ask you guys a question.
That's all they can imagine.
Yeah.
Do you find with the Spain team, it's like I remember Euro 96 and Italia 90 and all that. Spain were a nothing. Then all of a sudden this golden generation came through. And now we can see that they're fading out. I think Spain are on the verge of going into like the abyss again. Until another golden generation comes.
They put me over in the World Cup 2002, Brian. Ian Hart missed a penalty before the game went to penalties. And then they bet us on penalties. And back then, Spain was shit. So I wouldn't mind to see them go back to that, to be honest with you, because it was nice. It was nice.
To me, it looks like that's what's happening.
I think a lot of it has to do with the quality of Barcelona and Real Madrid as teams and where they're at as far as their cycle is concerned too. So I think it's probably affecting the Spain's national team. If not a single player from Real Madrid tells you where they're at as far as the what they're doing domestically. So I think that's probably playing into the quality of where Spain are at, and will likely come back. Like if they can get their money situation sorted out, we'll probably see them come back a little bit. But that golden generation was special.
Oh no! Look, that's a great point. I fully agree with you, because it's kind of like when Spain and Madrid were like too dominant in Europe. Spain were dominating everything. So that's a great point, right? Shink says, loving the content, guys. Big up the Irish Hotspur. It's fire. No, look, it's not only me. It's Jack. It's the two Brians from Tottenham away. So don't just praise me. You can't just praise me. It's illegal. You have to praise all four.
Well, you got to get some praise, though, David. You got to get some.
Yeah, David, you've been very hard on yourself today. You've been very hard on yourself today.
No, look, I just fill in, lad. I just fill in. That's all I'm here to do. I'll be watching the game anyway, so may as well stick a camera in front of me, God. We have Hamzo. Sweden is such a limited, mediocre, defensive lumberjack team. After all that, they are still 0-0, so they can't be too bad.
I was just gonna say, if you were defending for 80 minutes against Spain like this, I mean, it probably shows that you're a decent defender if you still are 0-0 at the end of the day.
I think
no matter how lucky you are, no matter how lucky you get, you're still pretty good defender.
Yeah, I think they're a good team, Sweden. They're well coached, and they have an identity of how they play, and it's very specific. And
this is the same coach that got them. This is the same coach that got them past Germany and Korea and everybody.
Yeah, exactly. He's been with them for a while, right? I forget exactly.
Well, that's the thing as well. Sweden are a team like we have with Pochettino, that everyone knows their job. It's not obviously if Ibrahimovic is there, obviously it's the star, he's the man, he's the this. But when he's not there, it's like everyone knows what they need to do in their position.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter how talented you're not. If they take someone out and they put someone in, it's like you do this, and they seem to do that very, very well.
Yep.
Brian, you just made my point even better, because that's what Dave and I were talking about in the Euros preview. That's what we were talking about.
There you go. There you go, mate. Anything to help you, buddy.
Honestly, Mark Stevenson says, what's going on? Yeah, look, Spain just had not a chance, but another ball flash across the goal, dealt with by Sweden again. Honestly, it's just much of what happened in the first half. Spain, like I said, they're throwing Brian Daigle's mother-in-law at the kitchen sink, everything else at it. They're just not getting any joy. They're really not getting any joy.
Keep doing it.
No, I won't, because next time you're over with the missus or something, I'll get a swift backhander.
She's in the other room. She can't hear. So I'll say your Irish accent. They're not understanding what you're saying. I'll say it's a term of endearment.
Yeah.
But no, look, Brian. Of course, Brian still thinks it's coming home. Everybody, football's coming home. Don't you, Brian? Go on, go.
I've said I think we're getting to the semi-final. That's what I've said. I'm not saying I'm not one of those going, we're winning it. Football's coming home. I just think, and you got to remember, I've gone through England a lot, and I have been one of those fans before Like Italian '90 was the first World Cup I remember.
It is fun though. Let's be honest.
Oh no, it is fun.
Right?
It is fun, and believe me, the banter. I mean, David and I started having banter on.
Your banter was great the other day. I was laughing my ass off listening to you guys go back and forth.
Will THFC Ranch show. We were having banter, and David's banter is one thing you got to give him. His banter's great.
Yeah,
and it's literally you look at it. Like I said, I've never got into a tournament right now where the actual squad is so strong. Every other tournament, the first 11 have always been good. Whereas now there is a huge, like when you can say Jack Grealish was on the bench, whether for me he's second name on the team sheet, regardless. But to say you can keep him on the bench and keep him fit, because he was about to come on when Sterling scored, and then it was like, no, sit down, relax. And you look at it, Rashford comes off the bench. There's so much to come off the bench. Unlike last time, it was
tell us who else there is. Go on, you're dying to tell us who else.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying like when we used to bring on David Batty or Steve McMahon or Jeff Thomas.
Go on, you can't have yourself. Like, give us more names.
I'm going back in the day, mate. I'm going back in the day. But it's like literally now we have some strength in depth. Well, I think our only problem is Jordan Pickford. I think Jordan Pickford is the weak link.
I think the defense is the weak link generally, especially the center halves. I think if England are going to win a tournament, they need to address that situation. Maguire, he's good, but that's your best center half. I think I support England, so they're going to struggle. But yeah.
But this is the thing. Maguire is.
I do, David. Yeah.
I don't really get the hype over Maguire at all. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's
like
average.
He went for 80 million. He went for 80 million. He's had a goodish season for United. I mean, you just got to remember when we beat them 6-1. He's fouling his players to help Ndombele score. He's getting it. So he's gone with a big price tag. But all right, he's had a good few games. But I look back at the days where we had like the Terry Butchers, the Tony. All right, I'm going to mention an Arsenal player, but Tony Adams, like proper rock hard. John Terry, as much as I hate to say his name. We had rock hard defenders.
Whether you like him or not, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the man, but the player was fantastic, and we just don't have that.
But Harry Maguire drinks Jaeger. That's that song, isn't it? Harry Maguire.
Oh,
Harry Maguire.
I mean, can I ask this? Is Harry Maguire legally allowed to play against Greece?
Well, that's a good question. Well, thankfully he's not going to play him, but who knows?
nice one, Jack.
That's good.
Who knows?
I like that one.
Can you imagine that?
He's technically
it took me a second. It took me a second.
Technically a fugitive. Would he be allowed to play against? I mean, maybe he'll be allowed to play in England. He'll be allowed to play in London against Greece.
He'll get arrested. He'll get arrested on the pitch if he goes to
that. That's hilarious.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, after that thing as well, I'm surprised they still picked him for England for a bit because John Terry. When he did
you see his bar tab? Did you see his bar tab? Like that alone disqualifies you.
It's obscene.
Squad. What did he spend? Like 70 grand or something at one bar? It said or something like that. It was 10,000 or something at one bar alone.
They'll drop money like it's going out of fashion.
The barrel on his missus to get it for free.
You really think about it though, David. You really think about it, right? That was over the pandemic as well, right? It's over the pandemic, and he's spending 10 grand at a bar.
Yeah, it's a bit of a piss take, isn't it?
It's a bit of a piss take. It's a bit of a piss take. And then supposedly we're supposed to feel bad for him, like he said, like he was wrongfully accused.
I think to be fair, it was a pretty ugly thing that took place. But he put himself in a position where that's possible. So
exactly, but then also
responsibility for it.
Also,
look at his face. It's the face of a guilty man. Even today, you can look at his face. It's the face of a guilty man.
Yeah.
He said the line that I hate more than anything, and anyone that uses this line has got what it's come to. When Harry Maguire turns around to Greek police and goes, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah, that says
that line has got to be the worst. I hate anyone that says that line. You get what's coming to you. I hate it.
Brian, it's sports like that makes every other team around Europe hate England when they come to competition.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. And this happened. Was it Leicester as well? It happened a few years ago, where a few of them got arrested overnight. I think it was Leicester.
Phil Foden and whatever Mason Greenwood had that thing.
Yeah, they did that. I mean, that's not the best. I mean, Wayne Rooney's done it.
Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood's thing was very bad. That was bad. That was bad. Phil Foden's and Greenwood's was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I got to say, Phil Foden. Did you see that, David? You've got to even admire that touch he did when he brought that ball down when the long ball came down, and Phil Foden just brought it down. First touch,
just dropped it in front of him. Is brilliant.
Yeah, dropped
right
in front of him
yesterday, Brian. Paul Gascoigne.
He's got a good touch in the hotel room as well.
No. The Stockport Gaza. Apparently, the Stockport.
Sorry,
Gaza.
I could have sworn same hair. Same hair, everything else.
You know what?
Honestly, I like Foden. He's a good player.
David, I sent this in a voice note to you today, and Crazy 8, right, or whatever his name is, the Brooklyn man would know. Ask him, David, if Phil Foden came to Brooklyn with that haircut and decided to go on a little stroll today, I would love to see how long he would last. I would love to see how long Phil would last, because believe me, that would not go over well here. That would not go over well.
That is an ugly ass hairdo.
Even whatever his name, Mr. Marshall himself from Detroit, even he would shake his head at that. Believe me.
Do you know what's comical though? Do you know what's comical, right? Phil Foden dyes his hair, goes for the Gaza. All of a sudden, they pull Gaza out of somewhere and put him in front of cameras all over the place. Asking him about what do you think of Phil Foden with your haircut and all. Honestly, it's insane. Yeah, but no, to be honest with you, look, he's got the job done yesterday. It was the first time in 10 attempts you've won your first group game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's a good start for you. And look, I do think you'll come out of the group no problem.
What do you mean, David? They already won it.
Hopefully you come out top so you get one of the teams
just need a point to get through, Jack. Just need a point to get through.
David, they already won it. What do you mean, David? They already won it. The stencil's already in. The welder's already working on the trophy as we speak.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. We're only watching a friendly here today.
I got my tattoo designed. I'm ready to go.
So I have to say, David, on our show just now, Cody just asked me, he said, what are you going to say to Irish if England win it? And I said, listen, I'm going to keep it close to my chest. I may say a few things, but I said I've got to keep things very, very close to my chest, because if I start giving it when it doesn't happen, boy, I'm going to hurt pretty bad. I'm going to have to go into hiding.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, what I'd say is get it all out of your chest before the semi-finals come around and you end up getting knocked out, because regardless whether you let me off easy or whether you give it to me, I am giving pelters when you get knocked out. I am sitting here waiting for it.
They're coming anyway. They're coming anyway, Brian. So get it out of your system.
Exactly.
I'm going to make it a routine now where we put out songs after the competition when you get knocked out. So I think that's what we need to do. But honestly, give it to me as much as you need to and get it off your system, because honestly, I will not let up once you get knocked out.
Oh man, I tell you, but remember, I have said I think we're getting to the semi-finals. So if we get knocked out of the quarterfinals, you can come for me. If we get knocked out of the semi-finals, mate,
even if you lose the final, I'm coming.
Oh, mate, if we lose the final, I'm gonna hide under the bed for 3 weeks. So don't worry about that.
I gotta ask David here. Because I know a lot of the Irish Hotspur fans will love this question, and I also want to ask both the Bryans as well. If you were a manager, what is your manager attire? Are you wearing the full track suit of your club? Are you wearing the suit? Are you wearing the Armani? What it might be? What would it be if you're a manager of Spurs, manager of your national team, whatever it might be?
For that, but I'll let
what's your attire, David? What's your attire, David?
Me, look, to be honest with you, I'm not really a suit man. I just love wearing tracksuits, love feeling
full tracksuit, full club tracksuit.
Yeah. I'm more of a tracksuit man, to be honest with you. But look, if I had to put on a suit, maybe if I ever get married, even then it's debatable. I'd probably go for a bit of an Armani or something like that. But to be honest with you, I'd rather just get married in shorts and t-shirt.
Well, David, Champions League final for Spurs. What are you wearing? Are you wearing the full tracksuit with the club badges, or are you wearing the Armani?
For that. I'm going full kit.
Full kit.
Full kit wanker on that for sure. I'll answer. I'd like to answer. Brian, I think you have to dress for the occasion. If it is the Champions League final, you got to dress for it. You got to get your duds up, and if you're just playing, if you're going to across town to West Ham, you just put on your trackies and you're good to go. You dress for the occasion. That's I think that's what you got to do.
That's a smart approach. That's a smart approch for sure.
If you're going to West Ham, you just wear. If you go to West Ham, you get dressed like Brad Pitt did in Snatch.
Yeah.
Just to put in there, lads. Spain just had a chance to win it. The game
was a ridiculous chance.
It's coming into injury time now. Spain had another sitter, another chance to score, didn't take it. And look, this is going to be a fantastic point for Sweden if they hold on. Spain are on the attack here in the closing stages. We have a chat here from Will Stewart, THFC Rat Super Chat. He says need to check out Sweden's keeper. Yeah, he's pulled off some great saves today.
It's been good, isn't it?
Everton just bought him, mate. Everton just bought him last year. That's what Everton said.
That's the guy that used to play for Brighton or something, or Huddersfield.
No. It's Robin Olsen. That guy Everton bought.
I'm thinking of Luso.
Good save.
Oh,
it was
Spain
right
are in. Another good ball. Oh, what a save!
Brian, how are you ahead of me?
I don't know. What are you watching it on?
I'm watching it on TSN.
Yeah, me too.
TSN 4.
Yeah, I think David's ahead of both of us, but I think
I'm on 2 minutes 41. The goalie's just made the save.
2 minutes 41 of the extra time.
2 minutes 48. 2 minutes 49.
Yeah, you're ahead of me, mate. You're ahead of me. I haven't even seen this save yet, so we'll see what happens.
You just said what a save.
Well, there was a different one that he made a save. He's made
what a save.
Ridiculous saves over.
Yeah, he's
and
made
over.
a bunch of saves. But
Getting back to your question,
is
Jack.
that Everton keeper. Robin Olsen is that Everton keeper that everybody was interested in after the last World Cup. So yeah.
Is he starting for Everton, Jack, or
no? But the comment was like, we should get that keeper. Everton kind of already did that after he had a very similarly good performance or like good stint for Sweden after the World Cup or the most recent World Cup.
So yeah, get back to your question, Jack. I'd have to be a full suit, mate. I love wearing a whistle. Wear a bit of Dolce. My favourite suits, mate. My favourite designer, Dolce & Gabbana. My first ever tattoo when I was younger, I was going to get the D&G logo and get Daigle and Gabbana.
That would have been great.
Would you do a tie though? Would you do an open collar?
No, do you know what? It depends on like Brian said. I would always wear a suit, but it depends on the actual occasion. Sometimes I'd love to wear like a
Champions League final is the scenario. Champions League final for Spurs. Champions League final for Spurs.
Champions League final. It'd be a shirt, tie, and maybe like I love those Guardiola V-necks. I've got a few of them myself. So when it get hot and I took the jacket off because the final's somewhere hot in Europe, I could take that off and still have the whistle on. But yeah, mate, I do love wearing a whistle.
Marion Cranford says you should go full cowboy, full boots, jeans, nice button up, sports coat, and nice resistal or Stetson cowboy hat. Tie or bolo is optional. Absolutely love it, Marion Cranford.
Mate, I would do that if I was manager of Tottenham now, seeing that we're run by a cowboy. So yeah, I just keep it in. I just keep it in theme.
Look, Spain are here with probably what's going to be their last attempt of the game. A corner kick in the box. Oh, keeper again. Or was it a missed header from Spain? Gerrard got onto the end of it, and didn't score.
What does this mean for the group, guys?
I think that's going to look like it's it. I'd say it's just going to be a goal kick, and that'll be it.
Means Sweden are going through. It means Sweden are getting second at least. Sweden are getting second at least, I think.
Honestly, if this does end 0-0, I think it should be blown up here fairly quickly. But what a great point for Sweden!
Huge point for Sweden.
Fantastic,
massive.
We were talking about it, in the beginning of the match.
Especially with Poland losing today as well. That's
exactly.
Massive point.
Nice to see Skriniar score a goal.
Yeah, wonderful goal too. What a finish! He looked like Lewandowski when he popped that one in. It's fantastic.
You know what? If only we were linked with him.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine we had an opportunity to sign him. That would have been brilliant.
Spain are giving one more attack here. They're getting the ball in the box. Oh, well headed out by the Sweden defender and cleared. That's hoofed out. Come on, referee, blow it up. That's it. 90 minutes. That's it. 0-0 here. And Sweden and Spain, first game of the Euros for them, for each team, finishes 0-0. What a result for Sweden. Very disappointing for Spain on the whole of it. Sweden all of a sudden now just have the goodest chance to top the group as Spain or Slovakia even. Spain, look, I was saying to Jack earlier on, guys, that this could be a tricky one for Spain to navigate now. Slovakia, will have confidence. They're going to sit back. They'll take a point.
They got 3 points.
They look good. They look good too, Slovakia. They're no mugs. They're no mugs, Slovakia.
I'm just trying to remember, Jack, when we did your Jack Knows What a couple of weeks ago, and we did the little Euro thing when we went through the groups, I think we actually said Spain might struggle, didn't we?
Yeah, even with David today, I predicted that Spain would get 9 points, but I said by far do I not rate the Spain squad because I said once they make it out of the group, I actually anticipate them losing in like the round of 16 or the quarterfinals just to anybody that's decent. I think they'll lose to, but it turned out to be Sweden today.
And Jack, correct me if I'm wrong. If we finish second, we play the second team in this group, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to finish second, believe me. If you finish first, you're playing the second team from Group F.
Yeah, which is the group of death, so it's going to be...
And you think about it, it's almost like maybe the second team the team that finishes second in the group of death might almost be better than the team that finishes first in the group of death when you really think about it as well, because they'll be a little bit hungrier, they'll be a little bit a bit more hurt about it, whatever it may be. Yeah.
Well, as Group E stands, it's Slovakia top in the group on 3 points after one game. Sweden and Spain both on 1 point each, with Poland right at the bottom of the group on 0 points, all after one game. So the group, it's all to play for. Honestly, Spain could see themselves out of the group stage if they don't take the chances. Like they've created a lot of chances today. If they don't create them, they're going to struggle against Slovakia. At Skriniar, just clear the ball all day long. They're going to struggle against Poland. They might get the 3 points, but will it be enough? Probably not. Will Stewart, THFC rants, Jack told you Poland isn't getting out of the group.
Yeah, no. Me and Will had a little bit of a rant together with each other about Sweden versus Poland. But Will, if I'll remind you, I think the original conversation was about you believing that Zlatan was going to be in the squad, and if I remember correctly, you didn't really know any other player in the Sweden squad apart from Zlatan. So I, in a way, maybe was holding up your own argument as well. But I will say, and I think the original argument as well was between Zlatan and Lewandowski. And if you're going to compare Zlatan and Lewandowski, then enough said. I'm just going to say, I don't have to tell you what you should think, but there's a right answer.
Them's fighting words. Nice one, Jackie boy.
David, no, he's absolutely right, David. I'll concede. I said in the beginning, I didn't give Will enough credit though, but in the beginning, absolutely right, because even our Euro preview today, David did have Poland in the second spot. So Will was right. So, Sweden do definitely look like a much better squad than Poland. So Will is absolutely right. But I do believe the original argument was about Zlatan versus Leva, and that way, let people make their own mind up.
Well, look, I suppose I will ask you, boys, and I'll start with Jack and work our way around. But Jack, who do you think's coming out of this group now as it stands after one game each?
Listen, David, when you think about it, right, with Slovakia, them getting a draw is a victory, right? Even if they were to lose all 3 points, they're thinking like, look, we got 3 points in the last game. There's still a chance for us to get, another victory or another point and still advance here. And so with Spain, it's like they need to go full, just whatever, almost like nuclear bomb kind of attack on Slovakia. And Slovakia will know they're going to do that. And so whether Slovakia can actually be able to handle that, and maybe in the way that Sweden did today, if let's say this, if Spain only get another point out of the next game and they only end up with 2 points and Slovakia end up with 4, and Sweden and Poland, even if Sweden and Poland, let's say Poland grab 3 points or something, God, what an interesting group after that.
It's going to be tight.
It'd be interesting. What I actually think, there's maybe a good chance, obviously Sweden have 1 point here, but I think with Poland, right, Poland are thinking like they need 3 points. So if Poland were to get 3 points then against Sweden, that would just make it even more interesting. Absolutely even more interesting.
100%. Yeah.
Well, Will Stewart says here, don't need to know anyone else but Zlatan. Yeah, that's definitely a statement Zlatan would make, Will. That's straight out the Zlatan handbook. So good comment there.
Fair play.
Yeah.
But look, Mr. Daigle, Mr. Daniel, what teams do you think is coming out of this group?
Only you can get away with that. Only you, my friend. Only you, my brother. So I'll tell you what, I think Slovakia have done their job. And I'm going to call it out. I think Spain are going to finish bottom of this group. I can't pick who's going to. I'm going to go full throttle. I'm going to go full throttle. I'm going to put my fucking big nose on the line here and say I'm going Spain to not only not qualify, but to so third can still get through. Yeah, I'm saying Spain aren't getting out. The Spain are finishing bottom.
Fourth.
Yeah,
and very, very tight between. I couldn't choose between Sweden and Poland, so I'll make a bold prediction. Is saying Spain are going to be at the bottom of this group and go home straight away.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's nonsense, though. I think they'll probably.
All right.
But I think it is a little bit, though. I think Spain I think they have enough to beat Slovakia. They have enough to beat Poland. Now those games are being tight. Don't get me wrong, and Spain do struggle up front as we saw today. But that keeper today had a game, and I don't see them not.
Dubravka, though, this is the thing, though. Dubravka, the next match, who's maybe debatably a better keeper than even Olsen was.
But he's got to have a game like Olsen had today. Like Olsen had a game. It was above his level.
Yeah. Dubravka's had great games.
Yeah, he's a good keeper. Don't get me wrong. I think Spain will have enough to get out, but I think they'll finish third. I think it'll be, I think I could see Slovakia topping the group and Sweden finishing second.
Do you know what the real loss is? The real loss is that
probably
they
not
don't have
through.
Oblak. Slovakia would normally have Slovenia. I think that's Slovenia, actually. I think I got them mixed up. Slovenia is Oblak.
Yeah, so you know this stuff better than me, so I'll just
very confusing. No, I
interrupted
tell us how it is,
Jack.
No, I interrupted you for no reason. That was horrible.
It's fine. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a tight group. That game this morning, what happened this morning between Slovakia and Poland, changed everything. Like for Slovakia to get that win, and the 3 points really messes with the group quite a bit. It's impressive. I'm glad it happened. Entertaining.
No, it does. It does 100%. Look, for me, I fancy Sweden. I said to Jack even on the preview, I disagree with him. I think Sweden would get out of this group. I was saying to him, even if they got a point out of today's game, the Poland and Slovakia, they'd fancy themselves to beat both of them,
Yeah,
I really do think they'd fancy themselves to beat
good
both
players.
I think Poland are going to struggle. They rely too much on one player.
They do,
and I think that they struggled the last tournament with this for the exact same reason, and I think it'll apply in this case as well.
Yeah, and I do think Spain would beat Poland. Comes down to that Slovakia game with Spain. The winner of that will come out, but for me, I do think Sweden will come out of the group and potentially have a great opportunity to top the group now. And I think they'll fancy it. They still have Kulusevski come back in. The guy from Juve. So they still have him to come in. He was missing today due to COVID. So, he's to come back into their attacking line, which give them another outlet altogether. You'll have Marcus, you'll have Isaac one side, him the other side, with Forsberg probably playing, dropping into the middle more or less, with Berg up front. So there'll be a lot more. There'll be a lot more to come from Sweden, I think. You have Will Stewart, THFC Rand said, Zlatan is so good, Sweden will make it through with him injured in the stands. No, big up.
This is the other thing. Will, I'll bring up again with the that little debate we had in the past. Sweden have always done better without Zlatan. Sweden have always done better without Zlatan.
They're a better team without him.
They've always done better with Zlatan.
It's similar.
Maybe I could then concede something to you, Will, and maybe then say, who knows? Maybe Poland would have always done better without Lewandowski.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's this similar thing I was just talking about relying on a player too much, and then everything. The focal point becomes getting the ball to that player rather than playing as a team.
Yeah.
I think that Sweden are better, and I think Poland. I wouldn't say they'd be better without Lewandowski, but it's hard to argue that the team focus shouldn't be on one player. They should be playing as a team, and Sweden looked good today because of it.
And is it Ibrahimovic out for the whole tournament, or is he just
coming? He just wasn't selected.
Yeah, he's out. Okay,
he was injured and not going to be fit.
Yeah, he's done.
But he was going to play initially.
But look, we are going to end it off here now, but I want to give everyone a chance to plug themselves. If you like what the two Brians have to say, it's a good segue into their show, The Two Brians, with also the man up here beside me, Jack Kanicki, who also is in on the show. So look, it's a Tottenham away takeover really here today. But who wants to
Thanks for having us, guys. Yeah, I could start. We'll do the Two Brides on Friday with Jack, obviously doing his Jack Knows What segment, always with the stats and teaching us about football that we don't know anything about, which is nice to get from him. And we did our podcast on Monday today, so go check that out. It's on the channel at the moment. And just lots of different stuff coming up. So check us out at Tottenham Away.
Yeah, I'll just add on to that because Brian forgot the little thing that
I was letting you do it. You got to have something to say.
You see what he does? It's like literally
this is what a host does, buddy. So
honestly, due to this pandemic and everything, Brian and I mean, David, you're one of the first people we had on Tottenham Away, as in when we were still on Spotify. That's the only way I've met Brian. Brian and I have never met face to face. Where this Friday, England, Scotland. That all changes. We are going to go to a pub together, sit on a balcony or a terrace,
a patio,
a patio, and watch England, Scotland. Hopefully, we're going to do a pre-game. We'll do a little bit of half-time and after show, and then the Two Brians with Jack live from a pub, which is just going to be absolutely unbelievable. So it'll be
we may end up in my studio for that because it could get expensive. So we'll see.
Yeah,
it's not too far away.
Not for me. I just drink soft drinks, don't I?
So I was thinking about me, Brian. So
that's true.
I'm a selfish.
I'm a cheap date. So
that's it.
No, it should be good. Over to you, Jackie boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, like if you guys love them, then you'll also find me there. Maybe if you even remotely like me, you also unfortunately have to find me there with them as well. But listen, on Fridays, you'll find me there with the Two Brians. It will be it's almost like kind of a relaxing show, whether it's a late night for you in the UK or kind of your dinner time in the US. It's a nice, relaxing show. We kind of just talk about the week's news, whatever it may be, kind of vibe out. And then honestly, I'll probably find something depressing or uplifting about Spurs that you might enjoy. And then also, as always, you can always find me tag teaming with David here, doing plenty of videos, either with Euros content, either with some Paratici X thing, or with something with Fonseca that we got coming up, whatever it may be. You always can find me either at Tottenham away or at the Irish Hotspur here.
And apparently on WeAreTottenhamTV. So let's not forget, that's where we are right now, guys. We're on Ben and Sim's channel, so thank you guys for having us.
No, look, for me, look, I'm the Irish Hotspur. I think people know that by now, but look, get over, check me out at the Irish Hotspur. Smash and subscribe on the channel. If you enjoy the energy, if you enjoy the banter, and you enjoy the little bit of football knowledge I do have, just smash that subscribe button. You know, smash that subscribe button, help me out. I'm on the big push to 4K. But look, you know, this is WeAreTottenhamTV first and foremost. Make sure you smash a like on this stream. Make sure you smash and subscribe on the channel. You know, become a channel member for all the fantastic fan shows they do pre-game and after game. You know, the boys put in incredible work. So why not grab a channel membership or a super chat just to help them out every time they're on live. I want to say a massive thank you to Ben and Sim for giving me the opportunity to do this. I've really enjoyed it. And I want to say thank you to Jack for coming on today, helping out with the whole stream. I want to say thank you to the two Brian's Tottenham away, coming in, adding the bit of spice at the end that we needed as well to take us all the way home. I really enjoyed it. Look,
been a pleasure.
It's coming home. No, just hold on to that. It's coming home until the semis or the quarters. You know, actually, no, sorry. Breaking news. England's already won it. That's the way it is. But look, it's been a great show. I've been the Irish Hotspur. I'm signing out. I'm going to chill out now. So enjoy your evening, guys. Have a beer, and I'll see you all soon.
Cheers. Nice one.